Hokage hundreds of millions of rewards. Chapter 301-320. Chapter 301 Desperate Shikishima Heim. I just learned. In an enchanting mood. With the energy infusion of open black lens bracket Tien Shinshin Heim close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Aikikishima Heim close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Sage Art Chakra close black lens bracket in the body of open black lens bracket Tangent Heim close black lens bracket increased wildly. Sensing the surging energy in his body, Tangent Heim did not hesitate at all. I saw a few handprints quickly formed in her hand, and then a pair of snake eyes were directly closed. Obviously, she is about to start fighting back. Looking at the actions of the three big snakes Heim, Shiyu's face, wrapped in illusion, still doesn't have much waves. Because in his opinion, the trio's actions are just futile. Now that he has won the control of this despicable ghost and mythical creature, with his ability, no one else will want to take it away from him. Sure enough. Tangent Heim did not achieve any results under the Sage Art Chakra infusion of the other two Snake Heim, which can be seen from the face of Tangent Heim at this time. Although the latter closed his eyes, his face was full of dissatisfaction and solemnity. The snake frowned, sweat dripping into beads. Undoubtedly, at this moment, they have already put all their strength into milking. However, in Shiyu's eyes, their counterattack was nothing but a struggle. Sage Art Chakra in the three people's body was completely exhausted, they looked like they were out of breath. Two sisters, how's it going? At this moment, the first sentence of Tien Shinshin Heim seemed to be stuck. Tangent Heim, who heard the words, was silent for a while. But after all, she still spoke, and three unwilling words slowly spit out from her mouth. Failed. As soon as these words came out, the expressions of Tien Shinshin Heim and Aikikishima Heim suddenly became extremely ugly. Especially open black lens bracket Aikijima Heim close black lens bracket. For her, these three words are not just a simple sign that Shiyu passed the third level, but a big bet. Could it be that I really want to be a maid for that guy? At this moment, she is not only pale, but also at a loss. Seeing the appearance of Aikijima Heim, Tangent Heim said with a look of guilt. Sister, I'm sorry. Hearing the words, open black lens bracket Aikijima Heim close black lens bracket did not respond, and just froze in place like that. As the eldest sister Tien Shinshin Heim saw this, he immediately comforted him. Little sister, you are worried first, the matter has not been finalized yet. Yes, little sister. Eldest sister is right. Even if I don't regain control of this demon ghost, it doesn't necessarily mean that this kid did it. As long as it's not him, everything can be turned around. Tangent Heim said this is because she just tried her best to grab the control of the demon ghost, and found that the power of the illusion at this time was too strong. In 4 words, it is unbreakable. The energies of the three of them are all gathered together, and they can't shake it in the slightest. This is undoubtedly what shocked her the most. You know, I'm afraid even Bai can't do this kind of thing. Therefore, she doesn't think that Shiyu has such an ability against the sky. Hearing the words of the two elder sisters, Aikijima's expression changed slightly. Obviously, she thinks that the two of them are right. If you want to win the control of this despicable ghost, you must comprehend the power of sage art. If Tokyo really had such ability, why did she come to open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket? However, when open black lens bracket Aikikishima Heim close black lens bracket thought things were going to change, a voice sounded and completely cut off her hope. Sister Island Heim. If nothing else, you should lose. Hearing this, the eyes of the three big snakes Heim immediately turned to one place. Next second, the three pairs of eyes locked on a figure at the same time. It was a thin young man figure. This figure was none other than Shiyu, who was standing in the Senluo Hell and was bowed down by thousands of undead spirits. At this moment, the three of them had an ominous premonition in their hearts. Because Shiyu was able to survive in this fantasy world unscathed, it was astonishing that he could still talk to them from the perspective of God. You can do this, there are only two possibilities. First, the illusion is invalid. Second, the illusion is under its control. But at this time, the scene of thousands of undead worshipping still exists, so the first possibility can be ruled out. Because of this, their previous guesses were confirmed. The boy in front of him was the one who took control of the evil ghost from Tangenheim. At this point, the three of them were completely shocked. That kind of spontaneous shock had already surfaced on their cheeks at this moment, and could not be concealed at all. After some astonishment, Tangenheim, who was the caster of evil ghost and mythical creature, was the first to speak, breaking the calm atmosphere. Brother Shiyu, it's you who took control of that despicable ghostly creature. Not bad. Shiyu did not deny it, and answered directly and frankly. But his straight-to-the-point made Haim's heart suddenly tremble. Although I guessed this fact, I couldn't help but tremble after hearing it with my own ears. And open black lens bracket Ikijima Haim close black lens bracket could not help but stumble back a step, if it wasn't for open black lens bracket Tien Shinshinheim close black lens bracket to help him, it is estimated that he would have fallen to the ground. She obviously couldn't accept this result. If she signed a contract with Shiyu, that would be fine, but being a maid would be too expensive. At this moment, she regretted it. She regretted why she had made such a ruthless bet with Shiyu before, but now, the maid didn't get it, and she successfully pitted herself. Final analysis, she underestimated Shiyu. Not only her, but also open black lens bracket Tien Shinshinheim close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Tangenheim close black lens bracket. Otherwise, how could the two of them agree to the decision of open black lens bracket Ikikishima Heim close black lens bracket? They have lived for nearly 1,000 years, and this time they finally overturned. And it was even more unacceptable that they were overturned in the hands of a 15 or 16-year-old human boy. Glancing at his younger sister open black lens bracket Ikikishima Heim close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket Tangenheim close black lens bracket asked after calming down. Brother Shiyu, can I ask you a few questions? Miss Jinheim has any questions, but it doesn't matter if I say it. As long as I know it, I must know everything and say everything. Shiyu smiled. Thank you. Tangenheim said politely, and then asked. Have you ever come into contact with demonic illusion similar to demonic ghost? No. No. Tangenheim, stunned, then said, if you don't understand this demonic illusion, how did you get control of it from me? Would you believe me if I said I just learned? As soon as Shiyu said this, the three of Tangenheim were stunned. Demonic ghost, how powerful is demonic illusion? Even if demonic illusion, highly talented, Tangenheim took half a year to complete it master. But Shiyu, he actually said that he just learned it. In other words, Shiyu learned it in an illusion. This kind of thing is simply a fantasy. It's not that they have long hair and short knowledge, or they have big chests and no brains, but because they have never seen such miracles. Chapter 302-Shock. Clearance. Short life. At this moment, the three big snakes Heim were all staring at Shiyu stupidly. Not for others, just because of the phrase, just learned. Exclamation mark. Coming back to his senses, Tangenheim asked the second question in his mind. I believe what you just learned. But if you want to learn this despicable ghost and mythical creature, you can't do it with ordinary chakra. I know. You know. The shocked Tangenheim was slightly startled, and when Shiyu spit out the next sentence, the shock that had not subsided appeared on her face again. Since this despicable ghostly creature is sage art, ordinary chakra naturally cannot be used. Shiyu's voice just fell, and before Tangenheim could answer, Tien Shinshinheim, who was the eldest sister, couldn't help but say. Since that's the case, how do you control the evil ghost and mythical creature? Between the words Tangenheim saw Shiyu with a smile on his face and frowned. You don't mean to tell us that you are already a master, sage art, right? Sister Haim is really smart, you guessed it all at once. As Shiyu's words fell, the three major snakes Haim were all dazed. Obviously, they couldn't believe this fact for a while. Until Shiyu waved his big hand, the thousands of undead who were kneeling at his feet were all dispersed. This scene is undoubtedly the best proof. If you want to control the disappearance of this sage art, only the master, sage art, who has the right to control this illusion can do it. At this moment, the three big snakes Haim have been stunned beyond measure. What they never expected was that a tester would have such strong strength and talent. The key is that he has already mastered sage art. The most important point is that the latter is just a 15 or 16-year-old boy. Combining everything in front of them, they can't help but doubt Shiyu's true age. After all, there are some ninjutsus that can keep your face in this world. For example, Tsunade's 100 Heroes Jutsu, Orochimaru's reincarnation, and so on, still exist. Sluggish expression on the face of the three big snakes Haim, Shiyu's voice also sounded slowly. By the way, will this trial continue? Hearing this, Tien Shinshin Haim, the three of them are embarrassed and sullen. Continue and continue to be a bullshit. Even the illusion is controlled by you, is it necessary to continue this trial? Moreover, even if they want to continue, they don't have the ability. Sage art chakra in their bodies has been exhausted, and that natural energy is quite thin in this different space. If they want to recover, they have to wait for their bodies to recover. Of course, even in the real world, sage art chakra is not infinite. Open black lens bracket sage art chakra close black lens bracket is a combination of open black lens bracket spiritual energy close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket physical energy close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket natural energy close black lens bracket under a certain balance. Therefore, once these two kinds of energy are exhausted, no matter how much natural energy you absorb, you will not be able to continue to create sage art chakra. Therefore, the so-called sage mode, having unlimited chakra, is actually a wrong statement. Of course, if you only talk about natural energy, there is no problem. Because this energy is conserved, and it will return to nature after you absorb it and release it. Then after evolution, it will eventually become re-inhalable. Pure, natural energy can restore body and recovery ability, but it cannot be used as a release of ninjutsu. Because it's not chakra. Quote. Call. Tanjin took a deep breath, looked at Shiyu and said, "Congratulations, you passed the third test of Ryachi Cave." Although they are very reluctant to see this result, as the guardians of the Holy Land, they will naturally not cheat. Over, it's over. Tanjin voice just fell, and the corner of Shiyu's mouth lifted a slight arc. Since I have passed the third test, then the bet. While speaking, Shiyu's eyes fell on open black lens bracket Ikijima Haim close black lens bracket, but what he said in his mouth was to stop. Obviously, he waiting for the latter's answer. Humph. Don't worry, I Ikikishima Haim mean what I say, and I won't be as unbelievable as you humans. I'm relieved to have said that little sister Haim. Apparently, Shiyu deliberately let the latter figure it out. Let Ikijima Haim say it willingly, obviously then he forced the latter to fulfill. The bet is much more interesting. Little sister. Tanjin Haim and Tien Shinshin Haim said in unison, with a look of helplessness on their faces. Ikijima Haim, they made a bet with Shiyu, and they were naturally embarrassed to go back on it. First of all, it is not to say that it is to protect the face of the Holy Land. Secondly, Shiyu's strength is probably not inferior to their Holy Land Master, White Snake Immortal, and they do not have the capital to go back. Elder sister, second sister, don't worry. The lifespan of a human being will end in 100 or 100 years at most, so I will only serve him for a few decades at most. Moreover, it is impossible to guarantee that there will be no accidents during this period. Words of Ikikishima Haim, Tanjin Haim, and Tien Shinshin Haim were also slightly taken aback. How could they forget about this crop? Indeed, their human lifespan is too short. 100 in 100 years is basically the limit. Those who can exceed this age are all blessed by God. But for the masters who have natural energy, they can get quite a long time. 1,000-year lifespan, that's the minimum. After thinking about it from another angle, they felt that this gamble didn't seem too much. But when their words fell in Shiyu's ears, it was a bit ridiculous. Shiyu, is a normal human being. Obviously not. Naturally open black lens bracket Otsutsuki Kagaya close black lens bracket can gain eternal life, never grow old and never die. Why can't he who has the system? So, Aikikishima Haime's abacus is going to fail after all. However, Shiyu obviously won't say anything about it. He wanted to give Aikijima Haime hope, and only hope that she won't do anything. In this way, it will save a hassle. Besides, maybe this open black lens bracket Aikijima Haime close black lens bracket has been with you for a long time, and maybe you are not willing to leave at that time. It is said that people are fickle, it is because people have thinking. And since Aikijishima Haime is a snake man with thinking, it is no exception. But as for how long it will take, Shiyu can't tell. After some thoughts flashed through his mind, Shiyu is not entangled in this matter, but directly enters the theme. Since I have passed all the trials, you can take me to see the white snake immortal now. Yes, but... Seeing Tien Shinshinheim hesitating to speak, Shiyu also asked. But what? The sage art chakra in the three of us is now exhausted, and now we can't open the different space channel of this charming state of mind for the time being. Moreover, that natural energy in this space is very thin, and we cannot recover it in a short time. So, we have to stay here for a while. Tien Shinshinheim said. A smile appeared on Shiyu's face. Said while approaching the three big snakes. Haime. I am running out of chakra, right? I can't go out for a while, right? Seeing Shiyu walking towards the three of them with a smile on his face, Tien Shinshinheim, who has had the most contact with human beings, suddenly felt an ominous premonition in his heart. Shiyu is so strong, and the three sisters are very weak now. If Shiyu wanted to do something bad to the three sisters at this time, they would probably have to let them be slaughtered. In this different space with only the four of them, it is really called Ten to be unreasonable. This, Tien Shinshinheim, couldn't help but take a step back. Chapter 303 Not even a snake. Are you still human? When Tien Shinshinheim had a premonition that something was wrong, Tanjinheim also noticed something. Only the relatively simple lowly Aikijima Haime was still standing there stupidly, still thinking about the maid in his heart. Who came slowly, he couldn't help asking. Brother Shiyu, what do you want to do? We are now trapped in this charming state of mind, the three of you are so vain that you can't even open the portal of this space, what do you say I want to do? Hearing Shiyu's words, Tien Shinshinheim and Tanjinheim were stunned. Although they are snakes, they are now in human form. Legend has it that human males are all lower body animals, so they have prepared for the worst. Once Shiyu really wants the overlord to take the bait, they will return to their original form, and see if the latter dares to attack them. The only thing they are worried about at the moment is, will Shiyu have any special hobbies? Even if the three sisters return to their original shape, they will not be able to escape the clutches of the devil. Although this possibility is quite low, they have to guard against it. Not even snakes. It's not that there are no people who have let go, such as Shushian and Xiaoyan. Since ancient times, all kinds of monsters have been in this situation, and snakes are undoubtedly the most common species. And open black lens bracket Tan Shinshinheim close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Tanjinheim close black lens bracket. The slightly innocent open black lens bracket Aikikishima Haime close black lens bracket finally reacted. Shiyu, you don't want to. That's right. I want to put the three of you now 3 inches. Shiyu's voice was not necessarily, but it was interrupted by open black lens bracket Aikijima Haime close black lens bracket. I saw that you were polite just now, and I thought you were a good person. I really saw you, I didn't expect you to be such a person. Undoubtedly, at this moment, Aikijima Haim also had such thoughts. Shiyu is not stupid, naturally he knows what the three of them are worried about. Originally, he didn't think about it, but the three sisters actually figured it out by themselves. So, he doesn't mind teasing the trio three. What kind of person am I? You are a despicable and shameless villain who actually wants to take advantage of others at this time. Aikijima Haim said angrily. Obviously, she was also misled by her two older sisters. How despicable and shameless I am, how I take advantage of people's dangers, you should talk about it and see. Shiyu pretended to be innocent between the words, as if he didn't know what the former was talking about. Give me garlic. Tell me, are you trying to do something wrong while our three sisters are in a vacuum? Sister Shima Haim, I think you have misunderstood. Although you three sisters are beautiful and charming, but I don't have this idea at all. Hearing Tokiyu's words, open black lens bracket Aikikishima Haim close black lens bracket was slightly taken aback. No. Of course not. Shiyu affirmed, and then said, Dao, do you think I look like this kind of person? If not, why did you say those words just now? Also, what do you mean by leaning on us all the time? Isn't it unkind to the outdoors? At this moment, open black lens bracket Aikikishima Haim. Tien Shinshin Haim and Tanjin Haim are both extremely vigilant. Hearing this, Shiyu smiled lightly and said immediately. I think you have misunderstood. My previous words are also wrong, just to confirm that you are not really too weak to open the space portal. As for why I'm approaching you, it's even simpler. Since you can't open the exit of this different dimension now. Then I can only do it for you. When Shiyu came out, the expression of the three big snakes Haim suddenly froze. The first person to speak was still the relatively simple open black lens bracket Aikijima Haim close black lens bracket. Even though he has lived for nearly 1,000 years, his temperament still dictates. What you say is true. Naturally. Seeing Shiyu's serious face, Tien Shinshin Haim and the others also breathed a sigh of relief. Because if Shiyu did anything to them here, no one would come to save them even if they shouted. Strong, white snake immortal is, he cannot perceive everything that is happening in the space. Patting the towering chest, Tanjin Haim suddenly realized something. Brother Shiyu, what do you mean is that you can open the space channel of this charming state of mind? Tanjin Haim, as soon as these words came out, they only attracted the attention of Tien Shinshin Haim and Aikikishima Haim. Undoubtedly, they are also very curious about this. To be precise, they are skeptical about it. Because this evil mood is even more difficult than the previous evil ghost, even they have to rely on three people, three power can be opened. But if there is nothing unexpected about Shiyu, Shiyu should have come into contact with this different dimension for the first time. Even if Tokiyu's time and space ninjutsu is highly accomplished, it is impossible to understand the true meaning of this sage art in such a short period of time. Reason why they just doubted and didn't deny it. That's because they had seen Shiyu's enchanting place before, and they actually gave such a powerful demonic illusion to the master in the fantasy world. This, open black lens bracket Tien Shinshin Haim close black lens bracket is a tentative question. Brother Shiyu. You don't mean to tell us about the sage art you have already learned about sage art? Not bad. Shiyu affirmed, and then said, I saw you cast it before. And after thinking about it carefully in my mind, it will be. As soon as Shiyu said this, the three of them were dumbfounded. After reading it once, after trying it out in his head, he would make fun of us, big brother. That is extremely difficult, sage art, if it is really that simple, we also don't learn for hundreds of years and just comprehend some essentials. Only then can it be opened with the power of three people. But in Shiyu's hands, it was said to be so easy. It's no wonder that the three of them had a suspicious expression on their faces at this time, Shiyu with three pairs of snake eyes. I said brother Shiyu, are you kidding us because you can't get out? Tien Shinshin Haim said. Do you look like I'm joking? Shiyu responded with a sound, and then said, I still want to see White Snake Immortal. Naturally I don't want to waste time here. Of course, if you want to stay with me for a while longer, it's not impossible. I am a very talkative person, especially the suggestions of beautiful women, I usually consider them carefully. Tien Shinshinheim was stunned for a moment, and hurriedly said. No need. Since younger brother Shiyu has such ability, then take us away quickly, so that we can take you to see Lord White Snake Immortal. What about Godheim's sister and Shima-heim, sister? Shiyu asked. Our thoughts are the same as that of the eldest sister. Tangenheim hurriedly replied, for fear that Shiyu would change his mind. And open black lens bracket Ikikishima-heim close black lens bracket also nodded. No doubt that they all want to leave this dim and different space. But this is only one of them. Second, they naturally wanted to prove one thing, and that was whether Shiyu was lying. Chapter 304 The Fourth Sage Mode. Deep in the temple. At this moment, I was in a dazzling state of mind. Three big snakes were firmly locked on Shiyu, waiting for the latter's answer to reveal Akatsuki. But in the next second, they were dumbfounded. When Shiyu waved his arm, an irregular space crack appeared in front of them. Through the cracks in space, they can see part of the real world. Undoubtedly, Shiyu did it. He really mastered the true meaning of this open black lens bracket senpo, sage art kaihubo close black lens bracket, master the fluctuation of the breadth of this different space. Otherwise, it is impossible for him to open this space portal. This result undoubtedly shocked them. They knew that Shiyu was very strong and enchanting, but they didn't expect it to be so enchanting. This has gone beyond the category of enchanting, it is simply a pervert. But what shocked them the most was not this, but that Shiyu did it without the hand seal. You must know that even the White Snake Immortal can't do it. There are not many people who open the door of space with their thoughts, and it is rumored that the founder of their Raichi Cave has such a skill. Six Paths Immortal close black lens bracket who opened up the ninja sect 1,000 years ago. As for open black lens bracket Otsutsuki Kagaya close black lens bracket, they don't know about it, and as for open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket, it is unknown. Anyway, the only one who helped Six Paths Immortals was the big toad immortal Gamamaru of Mount Myoboku. At this moment, they deeply understood the power of Shiyu. Originally, there were only two ways to crack the evil spiritual mind, but Shiyu abruptly gave the third one. This result was completely beyond their expectations. But at the same time, they were also very angry and wondered why Shiyu wanted to come to them. Raichi Cave, the latter already has such a powerful strength, and also master sage art. What did he plan to come here? When the three sisters were shocked and puzzled, Shiyu's voice also sounded slowly. I said 3, what are you still doing there? Let's go now. Hearing Shiyu's words, the three big snakes were all stunned, and then nodded in unison. Oh. Immediately after. 3 People 3 is the different space where Shiyu left this charming mood. But back in the real world, the three of them still didn't take their eyes off Shiyu. At this time, the eyes they looked at Shiyu had completely changed. It was no longer in a boy of 15 or 16. It is a peerless evildoer who can match their Raichi Cave, Holy Land Master, White Snake Immortal. They never thought that they could meet such a being in their lifetime, and they didn't know if it was luck or misfortune in Sansheng. Because, it's too much of a blow. They have lived for nearly 1,000 years, but they're just little boys. Moreover, they also found that Tokyu's body did not change at all when he used open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. Except for the pair of black pupils flashing with golden light. According to them, there are 3 kinds of sage mode in this world, which belong to the 3 holy places. The people of their own clan have not changed much after learning, and only after reaching a certain level will they slowly show some dragon's form. However, according to the historical records of their open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket, They, Raichi Cave, have been founded for many years, but in these endless years, none of their ancestors became a dragon. The strongest one is the founder of open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket. It is said that although it did not become a dragon, but it is a Jiao. And that transfiguration technique was created by their ancestor, Raichi Cave, and it has been passed down. This is why they can incarnate as adults. Relatively speaking, open black lens bracket Mount Myoboku close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Shikatsu Forest close black lens bracket have no such ability. From this, a conclusion can also be drawn in disguise, that is, the strength of the three holy places. Undoubtedly, open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket is in the first place. Next is open black lens bracket Mount Myoboku close black lens bracket, and finally open black lens bracket Shikatsu Forest close black lens bracket. This is why open black lens bracket 10,000 snake close black lens bracket is stronger than open black lens bracket Toadbunta close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket slug close black lens bracket. The reason open black lens bracket wand snake close black lens bracket can be ranked in the second echelon among the psychic beasts of open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket, which is enough to see that it has extraordinary strength. Of the three holy places has its own merits, and the sage mode of their Raichi Cave is closer to the dragon, the more perfect. And open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket of open black lens bracket Mount Myoboku close black lens bracket is fragization. The less the more perfect. As for the open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket of open black lens bracket Shikatsu Forest close black lens bracket, it is pattern. Less is more perfect. Although Tsunade did not learn open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket, it was this concept that created a similar open black lens bracket 100 hero technique creation regeneration close black lens bracket. These three sage modes have different shapes, they have the same goal. That is, sage mode has a common feature. That is, eyes. No matter how perfect your sage mode is, the eyes will definitely show the eyes of their Holy Land race. But at the moment they saw Shiyu's eyes were neither snake eyes, nor frog eyes, nor any slug eyes. Therefore, they suspect that Shiyu's sage mode should not be any of their three holy places. But as to where Shiyu's sage mode came from, they obviously don't know. Seeing the three of them staring at him without saying a word, Shiyu's voice came to their ears again. I said, three guardians, have you seen enough? If you've seen enough, then take me to see White Snake Immortal. Hearing Shiyu's words, the three big snakes Heim also recovered from the sluggishness. As the eldest sister Tien Shinshin Heim took the lead in speaking after a slight stun. Come with us. Words fell, she finally looked away from Shiyu's body, then turned around and took the lead. Seeing this, Tanjin Heim and Aikijima Heim followed closely. Shiyu didn't hesitate and followed slowly. After a while, they passed through the long cave and came to the deepest part. It's not as dark and dim as it is outside, and it doesn't want to be so narrow and cold outside. This is an extremely spacious area that looks like a small square. There is a quaint temple on the central wall right in front of this square. The plaque of the temple has three strong and powerful characters, Raichi Cave. Not only that, the surrounding walls were embedded with blue beads the size of pebbles, emitting a faint light. Moreover, there is a faint moonlight falling from the sky pit above the square, adding a bit of mystery to the square. Be precise, it makes the monastery in front of you even more mysterious. There is no doubt that this is the deep monastery where the White Snake Immortal lives. There are three things to do when you read. Chapter 305-Hualong Hall. White Snake Fairy. Stone Ladder Quiz. In the square of the cold moon and dim light, four figures stood slowly. Tien Shinshin Heim pointing at the quaint temple in front of the middle, he said slowly. Brother Shiyu. This is the deep temple of Raichi Cave and also the place where Lord White Snake Immortal lives. However, before I go in, I have a question I want to ask. I don't know if Brother Shiyu can help me. Godheim sister, you ask. Seeing Shiyu so free and easy, Tien Shinshinheim is also sloppy. Brother Shiyu, all who come here are to pursue the power of immortal. But since you've already learned sage art, why come here? Hearing Tan Shinshinheim, Tangenheim, and Aikikishimaheim were also curious. His eyes were firmly locked on Shiyu's body, wanting to know the answer as soon as possible. About this issue, you will naturally know when you meet the White Snake Immortal. If that's the case, then come with us. Voice fell, open black lens bracket Tien Shinshinheim close black lens bracket led Shiyu to walk slowly towards the temple in front. After a while. Temple gate, Tien Shinshinheim slowly opened the gate. Creep. Immediately afterwards, 4 people stepped into it. After entering the gate of the temple, Shiyu entered an incomparably spacious hall. There is also a plaque directly above the main hall, which reads, Dragon Transformation Hall. From this plaque, we can see where it resides. There are 12 white stone Jinchuriki column around this Dragon Transformation Hall, which are all carved with lifelike dragon-shaped patterns. Dragon. The ultimate goal pursued by open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket. Therefore, they have been working hard for this holy place all their lives, hoping that one day they will be able to formalize dragon. Center of the 12 white dragon stone Jinchuriki column, there is a 100-meter-long staircase. This staircase is paved with white jade, which is eternal and immortal. Hundreds of red jade on both sides are lamps, which are immortal. Not only that, there are simple lanterns hanging above and around the hall as embellishments. Of signs make this place very mysterious. And at this very moment, a majestic and old voice came from the main seat in front of the main hall. What's disturbing my dream? Reporting to my lord, someone has passed the 3 tests. I will follow the rules and bring him to visit your old man. Tien Shinshinheim, as the eldest sister said. Oh. After so many years, someone finally passed the trial. A surprised voice came from the top of the 100-meter stairs, and after a while of silence, the voice resounded again. If that's the case, then bring him up. Yes. Heim, who responded, was extremely respectful, and even Tangenheim and Aikikishimaheim had serious expressions. The attitude of the 3 of them at the moment is different from when they first met. Open black lens bracket Tien Shinshinheim close black lens bracket and the other 2 snakes Heim led Shiyu to step into the stone steps, but because of this, Shiyu noticed one thing. Just when Shiyu stepped on the stone steps, he noticed that there was an extremely strong open black lens bracket natural energy close black lens bracket on the stone steps. Not surprisingly. There must be some magic circle hidden on this stone step, pulling that natural energy between heaven and earth here. Otherwise, the here cannot be so strong. As for why the White Snake Immortal did this, Shiyu was already thinking about it, and he had already speculated in his heart. If Shiyu expected it well, this is undoubtedly a test. This test is different from the first 3 tests in that it measures qualification. Exclamation mark. According to open black lens bracket Tien Shinshinheim close black lens bracket, the people who come to open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket are to learn open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. And these 3 tests are to test a person's Xinxing and will. Only those who possess these things can get the approval of the White Snake Immortal. In the eyes of White Snake Immortal, there is no difference between good and evil, as long as the tester has an appetite for her. However, being recognized by White Snake Immortal, it just says that you have the opportunity to meet her old man, but this does not mean the qualification to study open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. And this qualification is the stone ladder test. Exclamation mark. This 100-meter stone ladder is enveloped in an extremely rich, natural energy, from then on, until you see the White Snake Immortal, if you still can't perceive a single trace of natural energy. That means you don't have the qualifications to learn open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. In this way, open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket will not waste time on you. Of course, this is all Shiyu's guess. Whether all this is as he thought, only after seeing the white snake immortal can he know the answer. Just as Shiyu guessed, they had already reached the second step. There were two huge boa constrictor stone sculptures sitting on both sides on the flat ground of the second step, and two clear izumi spit out from their mouths. Boom, boom, without the slightest suspense, it fell into the pool water, splashing water. Taking a few glances, Shiyu continued. When he came to the third step, he saw a wooden chair made of red sandalwood and green dragonwood. This chair is very spacious, and can lie down on one person. It is better to say that it is a wooden couch than a wooden chair. But this is not the point is that there is an old orange-haired old woman lying on the wooden couch. Nothing else. This person is the master of this open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket. When seeing open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket Tien Shinshinheim close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket Tangenheim close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Aikijishima Heim close black lens bracket, three people saluted one after another. See, white snake immortal, Lord. Hearing this, the white snake immortal, who was lying on the green dragon wooden couch, finally opened his lazy eyes. It's really rare that the three of you will come together. It's no wonder that white snake immortal is so surprised, and the people who guide the passers to see her are basically Tangenheim, who is in charge of the last level. The other two hardly show up. They don't want to come, they just don't want to come. At the beginning, they may have some interest and come to join in the fun. But after guarding for nearly 1,000 years, they obviously have no such intentions. But today, the three of them gathered again. Nothing else, there must be a reason for this. If her guess is correct, this matter must have something to do with this. The young man who passed the trial. Thinking of this, her eyes couldn't help but fall on Shiyu. Tien Shinshinheim, seeing this, he hurriedly said. Patriarch, this young man is the one who passed the trial. Oh. White Snake Immortal responded lightly, with her wrinkled face and hoarse voice. She could tell that she was quite old. Being able to let the three of you come together, it must not be easy for this young man. Between the words, White Snake Immortal looked at Shiyu carefully. She was shocked to find that the latter faced her without a trace of panic. Moreover, she could feel Shiyu's heart. Waves were calm, as if nothing could make it ripple. Based on this alone, she knew that Shiyu was not simple in front of her. Moreover, she also faintly felt a faint wave from Shiyu, which was open black lens bracket the fluctuation of the power of sage art. This is not open black lens bracket natural energy close black lens bracket, but open black lens bracket sage art chakra close black lens bracket. So, this is not left by passing through the 100-meter stone ladder. When I started open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket, I didn't think about the fact that Shiyu had already mastered open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket, but thought that Shiyu left a little open black lens bracket sage art chakra close black lens bracket on her body during the previous trials. The sage art chakra on the three snakes' Heim at this time is almost gone. It is obviously all wasted in the trial. That's why she had such thoughts. After pondering slightly, White Snake Immortal finally, she said the first sentence to Shiyu, a sentence she would ask all the testers who came here. Young man, did you feel something when you walked up the stone stairs just now? White Snake Immortal, as soon as these words came out, the three of Tien Shinshinheim, Tangenheim, and Aikijishima Heim looked very exciting. White Snake Immortal, I don't know, but the three of them are very clear. Shiyu is a master even, sage art, and that natural energy, contained on this stone ladder can't escape his perception. Chapter 306_ The Orochi, that defeated the tailed beast. Young man, did you sense something when you walked up the stone stairs just now? Hearing the words of White Snake Immortal, Shiyu replied truthfully. A special force. The White Snake Immortal, who heard the words, smiled faintly, and then said, "It seems that you are qualified to practice sage art." She may not know how many years, and there are countless human beings who come to try. But there are very few people who can pass the test, and the testers who can pass the test and perceive that natural energy are even rarer. Now another talented genius has emerged, which made a ripple in her heart that had been sleeping for a long time. If you have something to do, you must be able to spend some time. And the reason why she was smiling was because she felt it the first time she walked up. Originally, each tester had 3 hours. That is to say, even if the tester could not perceive that natural energy, even after stepping on the steps, the White Snake Immortal would also give a chance. After all, not all are sensitive to natural energy. Even if that natural energy is so strong here, those who have a mediocre sage art qualification need a certain amount of time. There is a gap between satiated perception and unintentional perception. From this, it can be concluded that this person's sage art aptitude, this is White Snake Immortal, will smile after hearing Shiyu's answer. The reason White Snake Immortal can have doubts about Shiyu's answer. The 3 big snakes can't. Because they know very well that Shiyu has already mastered open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. Therefore, he can obviously perceive this natural energy. However, as Shiyu spit out the next sentence, the expression of White Snake Immortal finally changed a lot. Even the 3 big snakes, were intrigued, because that was one of the reasons why they gathered here. Mother-in-law White Snake, in fact, I didn't come here for the so-called sage art. Not for open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. Shiyu nodded, and then said, "I came to Raichi Cave, this time for Yaki Orochi." When Shiyu said these words, everyone was startled, even the White Snake Immortal, who had lived for countless years, was no exception. Open black lens bracket Yaki Orochi close black lens bracket, that is the strongest psychic beast in their open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Wand Snake close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Red Snake Shinkiba close black lens bracket are strong, but in the eyes of the latter they are not even farts, they are as docile as one cat. Even the 3 great snakes, can't do anything about him. In today's Raichi Cave only White Snake Immortal can shock it. Moreover, it has never signed a contract with any human beings. But this is not the most important point. The most important point is that its strength does not seem to be weaker than open black lens bracket tailed beast close black lens bracket. It once had a fruit with Wu Wei Mawang, neither a slight loss nor a tie. It was a victory. That's right, it was a victory. Although Shiyu was ignorant of these secrets, the people who belong to open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket could not be more clear. It is also for this reason that many people who have passed the trial want to sign a contract with it. If one's own psychic beast can defeat a tailed beast, it is undoubtedly an extremely exciting thing. Yaki Orochi can defeat 5 tails with tailed beast bomb, its strength is beyond doubt. Because of this, Shiyu felt more and more anticipation in his heart. The 3 big snakes suddenly realized after hearing Shiyu's answer. Why is Shiyu, who is so strong and master of open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket, coming to open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket? It was for that guy. Because many no one cares about that murderous guy, so they all forgot about it. It was for that guy. White Snake Immortal stunned, and then said, "However, I have to advise you, that guy is not easy to mess with. If you want to sign a contract with him, you must defeat it." "Oh, and this rule?" Shiyu rode. "If you can pass the 3 tests, I can make the decision to connect all the blood pacts of the big snakes with you, as long as you have the strength to channel him out. But Yaki, that guy is special because he feels that only people who are stronger than him are qualified to sign with him. Many years ago, it defeated the 5 tails, so I gave it this privilege." Hearing the words of White Snake Immortal, Shiyu was also stunned. He knew that Akichi Orochi was absolutely extraordinary, but he didn't expect the latter to be so powerful. Can defeat the tailed beast with one's own power. Open black lens bracket tailed beast close black lens bracket. It can be said to be a special psychic beast, and besides, they also have the ability of immortality and immortality. Therefore, they are stronger than ordinary psychic beasts. The psychic beasts that can defeat the tailed beast are basically rare in nature. White Snake Immortal originally thought that Shiyu would shrink back in fear after hearing this message, but what she didn't expect was that Shiyu's face showed an excited smile. Grandma White Snake. If it's not strong, I don't have much interest. You've made up your mind. White Snake Immortal, a confirmatory question. Okay. If you lose to that guy, then we won't beg for each other, you're sure you won't regret it? I don't have that word in my dictionary. Hearing Shiyu's answer, a rare smile appeared on White Snake Immortal's face. You must know that there are people who have come here for thousands of years and want to sign a contract with Yaki Orochi, but after hearing that the latter had defeated Five Tails, he lost confidence. In the past 100 years, there is also a big snake who dared to try. Although he did not succeed, he survived from the hands of Yaki Orochi. Seeing that Orochimaru's strength is quite strong, and he gained a benefit through the battle with Yaki Orochi, that is, Yaki blood. Later, he used this to study a secret technique called the Hachiki technique. Young man, you are very good. White Snake Immortal praised it, and then said, however, I suggest you learn sage art before you challenge it again. Otherwise, it's hard for you to win. The power of Baki Orochi, White Snake Immortal, can't be more clear. She has been sitting in open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket for many years, and she knows the strength of every big snake here. Ordinary ninja, it is basically impossible to beat it. Therefore, in the opinion of White Snake Immortal, only when Shiyu has learned sage art will he have a chance of winning. Of course, it is only a trace at most. Because she has not seen such a thing before, there were many people who had high self-esteem and went to challenge the Yaki Orochi after learning sage art. And it all became the food of the latter's belly. However, after the voice of White Snake Immortal fell, before Shiyu could answer, another loli sounded. Report to the ancestor, he has learned sage art. Chapter 307-Peerless Monster. The first ever. Report to the ancestor, he has learned sage art. Was none other than Tokiva's maid, open black lens bracket Ikikishima Heim close black lens bracket. As soon as these words came out, the White Snake Immortal was suddenly stunned. The result was obviously beyond her expectations, even though she had lived for an unknown number of years, her wrinkled old face still showed a look of shock. At this moment, she suddenly thought of one thing. That is, she sensed the residual aura of sage art chakra on Shiyu, which she thought was left by Haim, the three major snakes, during the trial. But now it seems that this breath is clearly Shiyu's own. It is also because of this answer that it explains why Shiyu can perceive the natural energy in the stone ladder without meditating. At the same time, it also made White Snake Immortal understand one thing. That's why the three major snakes Haim came here at the same time as the tester. Obviously, they are very curious about Shiyu. Previously, she sensed that the sage art chakra in the three major snakes Haim was almost exhausted. Open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket for the first time in thousands of years, the tester who deflated the guardian. Seen that Shiyu must be extraordinary. It's just that White Snake Immortal did not expect that Shiyu's extraordinary thing is that he is already a master sage art. So it is. White Snake Immortal suddenly realized, and then said, no wonder you can make the three of them so embarrassing with one person's strength. However, the words of White Snake Immortal are very easy to misunderstand. It is like Sanying and Lu Bu. Moreover, in the end, they were all surrendered by Lu Bu. Not only was Shiyu thinking like this, but he also thought about Haim and Tangenheim. Both of them couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed. Only that, the simple Ikikishima Haim didn't make any waves, and it also echoed. Ancestor, You are right, this guy has made us miserable. In the beginning it was the eldest sister, then me, then my second sister, and in the end, the three of us joined forces to be his opponents. In the charming state of mind. Tien Shinshinheim and Tangenheim, who heard the words, were extremely embarrassed, and both of them could not help coughing a few times. The tone of the two also had a hint of warning. And White Snake Immortal obviously heard a message and couldn't help asking. Islandheim, you guys even used the evil mood just now. Open black lens bracket Ikijima Heim close black lens bracket was slightly taken aback. She knew that she had not kept her mouth shut for a while, and she was stunned. Even now, she nodded. Immediately after, White Snake Immortal looked at Tien Shinshinheim and threw the question to the latter. Godheim, what's going on? Hearing this, Tien Shinshinheim knew that it was impossible to hide it. So I told the truth. Even the bet between open black lens bracket Ikikishima Heim close black lens bracket and Tokiha was no exception. Because she knew that the latter would say it sooner or later. As for Shiyu, she acted as a melon eater. After listening to what Tien Shinshinheim said, White Snake Immortal looked at Shiyu with a great change. She originally thought that Shiyu was a juvenile genius, but what she didn't expect was that the latter turned out to be a complete evildoer. Not only in the fantasy world master open black lens bracket Kaihu Xianyi close black lens bracket and won the control of it, but also learned open black lens bracket time and space ninjutsu ghostly mood close black lens bracket at a glance. Such talent is truly unprecedented. It is said to be the first person in all ages. Not an exaggeration. Chapter 308-4 Holy Land. Create your own sage art. At this moment, she understood why Tokiyu was still fearless after learning of the power of Yaki Orochi. After some astonishment, White Snake Immortal has already started from the wooden couch, and began to look at Shiyu carefully. Three big snakes Heim may not be able to tell Shiyu's true age, but for the open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket who has reached the perfect level, open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket can be judged by open black lens bracket natural energy close black lens bracket. What made her even more shocked. She couldn't imagine that a 15 or 16-year-old boy could have such a skill. Young man, I don't know which holy place you learned your sage art. Open black lens bracket Mount Myoboku close black lens bracket or open black lens bracket Shikatsu Forest close black lens bracket. As far as White Snake Immortal knows, there are currently only 3 sage modes in this world. Those are the 3 holy places in the world of psychic beasts. That's why she thought that Shiyu's sage art must have been learned from one of the holy places. The most fundamental reason why they were merged into the 3 holy lands was because of this open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. However, before Tokiyu could answer, Tangenheim was the first to speak. Old ancestor, Shiyu's sage mode doesn't seem to come from the 3 holy lands. Oh. White Snake Immortal was surprised, and then murmured in his mouth, what's the new sage mode? I don't know which clan created it. It seems that it won't be long before the 4th holy land will appear. Obviously, White Snake Immortal thinks that creating a new sage mode should also be one of the psychic beast races. The psychic beasts are close to nature and are most likely to create sage art. As for humans, they were ruled out by White Snake Immortal in the first place. From her and Tangenheim's words, it can be heard that they have some understanding of the sage mode of the other 2 holy places. Otherwise, the open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket that the 3 of open black lens bracket Tangenheim close black lens bracket recognized before Tokiha no longer belong to any holy place. After some thoughts, the White Snake Immortal spoke again. Young man, can you tell me where you learned your sage art? Hearing White Snake Immortal Ikijima Heim, the 3 of them also pricked up their ears. Obviously, they are also quite curious about this. At this moment, all 4 pairs of eyes are focused on Shiyu, waiting for the latter's answer. Seeing this, Shiyu said slowly. I developed it myself. As soon as these words came out, everyone was instantly dumbfounded, even the White Snake Immortal, who had lived for countless years, was no exception. This is Sage Mode that I developed by myself. If Tokiyu developed a ninjutsu, even if it is a very advanced ninjutsu, they can accept it. After all, they already knew about Shiyu's enchanting talent. But the news that they had researched the open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket by themselves was too shocking. It's not that they don't believe in Shiyu, but this kind of thing is too unbelievable. It's like the Sage Mode of their 3 holy places, which is the result of the efforts and hard work of countless ancestors. It can be said that I don't know how much time it took. But Shiyu is alone. 15 or 16 years old. Even if Shiyu started researching from his mother's womb, it was only a short 10 years. Develop a new Sage Mode in such a short period of time is undoubtedly a fantasy for them. Because they have spent countless years in the 3 holy places. The painstaking efforts of countless ancestors. Besides, if open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket is so easy to create, there will not be only 3 open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket in today's world. Even Shigego, who owns open black lens bracket Sage Body close black lens bracket, cannot create open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket. It is better than open black lens bracket Hashirama close black lens bracket to go to open black lens bracket Shikatsu Forest close black lens bracket to learn open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket. Seen how difficult it is to create a new Sage Mode, which is why White Snake Immortal and others are so shocked after learning the answer. If it were anyone else, they would definitely deny it directly. But if they were Shiyu, they felt that this was not impossible. After all, Shiyu had already brought them too many unexpected things. Of course they didn't. Will think that Shiyu spent more than 10 years. So open black lens bracket Tien Shinshinheim close black lens bracket broke the silence. Brother Shiyu, how long did it take you to develop Sage Mode? Chapter 309 _ Attitude Change. Try, Dragon Transformation. Brother Shiyu, how long did it take you to develop Sage Mode? The voice of Tien Shinshinheim fell, and the faces of White Snake Immortal and others were also full of curiosity. Hearing this, Shiyu pondered for a moment, and then said a number of days that shocked the 4 of them, about 7 days. As soon as these words came out, everyone was undoubtedly dumbfounded. In 7 days, it was basically impossible to develop a ninjutsu. You must know that 4th Hokage took 3 years to develop Rasengan, and some of them never created their own unique ninjutsu in their entire lives. Of course, this is also related to the level of open black lens bracket Rasengan close black lens bracket. After all, open black lens bracket Rasengan close black lens bracket is a super ninjutsu. But even in low-level ninjutsu, it takes a certain amount of time. Seen that it is very difficult to develop a kind of ninjutsu. And what Tokiyu developed is not an ordinary ninjutsu, but open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket. In the development of the ninja world so far, no ninja has developed Sage Mode by himself, and there are only 3 Sage Mode in the world today, which is enough to see the difficulty of this Sage art. Described in 4 words, it is as hard as climbing to the sky. Exclamation mark. This is also the reason why White Snake Immortal 4 people 4 showed such amazing performance after hearing that Shiyu created Sage Mode. Not to mention them. Even if they were their ancestors, even if it was 6 Paths Immortal. The reason why Shiyu took 7 days to develop Sage Mode was because at that time his talent was only 100,000 times. If it is 1,000,000 times the current time, this time can obviously be shortened. But even so, this number of days is already extremely exaggerated in the eyes of White Snake Immortal and others. In their opinion, this is simply impossible. That's why the naive Ikikishima Haim was the first to question it. Ancestor, this guy must be bragging. For the words of open black lens bracket Ikikishima Haim close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket Tn Shinshinheim close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Tangenheim close black lens bracket are not denied. Obviously, they have the same idea. It's hard for people to believe such a thing from the Arabian Nights. Even if Tokiyu has mastered a brand new, sage mode now, it is still difficult for them to be convinced. No way. 7 days, this number of days is really too short. The ancestors of the 3 holy places have spent countless years, and they have developed a unique, sage mode belonging to their snake clan through the hard work of many generations. But now someone suddenly came out and told you that he created a similar open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket in just 7 days, which is naturally extremely unconvincing. Therefore, Shiyu can understand the doubts on the faces of the 4 people. However, Shiyu is too lazy to argue about it. Because it's pointless. Believe it or not, that's your business, I told you anyway. Shiyu responded with a sound, and then said, also, Sister Shimaheim, your current name should be changed. Why change? Replied to the puzzlement of open black lens bracket Ikikishimaheim close black lens bracket. We made a gambling contract before, and you said that you are willing to admit defeat. Are you still cheating in front of Grandma White Snake? Ikikishimaheim, I'll keep my word, I'll go back. Between the words, the 2 cheeks of Ikijimaheim were bulging, obviously extremely reluctant. But it is a foregone conclusion at this time, even if she can't be one of the 3 of open black lens bracket Ryachi cave close black lens bracket, how can she disbelieve her words? Her own reputation does not matter. The key is that she cannot ignore the presence of open black lens bracket Ryachi cave close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket. Of course, the most important point is that Shiyu's strength is far beyond her imagination. Therefore, it is impossible to cheat with strength. Seeing the latter, Shiyu said. Since that's the case, as a maid, how can you call me by my name? So, from now on, you should call me Master or Sir Shiyu. When Shiyu said these words, everyone was stunned. Because what Shiyu said is true. They have no reason to object. Immediately after, an extremely reluctant voice was spit out from the gap of Kiba in Ikijishimaheim, and there was a hint of shame and anger on Loli's pretty face. I see, Shiyu-sama. Master, this name Ikijishimaheim is really hard to say, so she can only use the title of adult. This is also a step given by Shiyu. Everything has to be measured, not just an inch. Step is the king. As long as you conquer her heart, don't say, Master. Well, it is estimated that even nicknames will appear by then. Therefore, Shiyu is not in a hurry at all. Shu Xian has Bai Susan, Xiaoyan has Medusa, and Shiyu has the 3 major snakes Heim. Moreover, there are 3 different types. Thinking about it, they are all cool. Enjoyed the title handed over by open black lens bracket Ikijimaheim close black lens bracket. White Snake Immortal, this has long been underestimated, just smiled slightly. If she were an ordinary person, she might have tried to stop it, and then made up for it by giving Shiyu some benefits. But after knowing that Shiyu was such an evildoer, she felt that she could train her to become their strongest contractor in Ryachi Cave. To be able to make a name for the holy place, this sacrifice is nothing at all. Besides, it is the bet of Ikikishimaheim itself lost. White Snake Immortal would love to see it, but Tien Shinshinheim and Tangenheim felt a little uncomfortable. After all, the former is their little sister. Now that she has become Shiyu's maid, she is naturally a little depressed. They are willing to exchange themselves if they can. Shiyu noticed that the 3 sisters Heim, the 3 snakes, had unusual feelings, so he opened his mouth and said, Sister Island Heim. I'm a reasonable person, and I won't let you stay by my side all the time. Usually, you stay at open black lens bracket Ryachi Cave close black lens bracket. I'll call you when I need you. Of course, if you don't have time, you can ask your 2 sisters to temporarily take your place. Of course, if you insist on having 10-10 serve me, you can choose one. Which one do you choose? The first. Open black lens bracket Ikikishima Heim close black lens bracket replied without hesitation, because in this way she is almost like an ordinary psychic beast. She doesn't need to guard and take care of Shiyu all the time. Therefore, she has no reason to refuse this proposal. However, she obviously didn't realize Shiyu's intentions, or in other words, other people didn't realize Shiyu's intentions either. Open black lens bracket Tien Shinshinheim close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Tangenheim close black lens bracket since they will feel sorry for the little sister, they will naturally not refuse the latter's request. Once something happens, or one day she is not happy, she will naturally go back and beg her two sisters to replace her. In this way, Shiyu's goal has been achieved. It seems to give Ikijima Heim the right to choose, but in fact this is part of his plan. Others put a long line to catch big fish, he wants to catch all of them. And for this result, open black lens bracket Tien Shinshinheim close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Tangenheim close black lens bracket are also happy to see it. At this moment, the three big snakes Heim couldn't help but cast a grateful look at Shiyu. The three of them couldn't resist Shiyu's original intention, but the open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket who lived for an unknown number of years was able to see through the first layer of meaning. That is to gain the goodwill of three people. This is the way to behave in the world. But Shiyu's real intention, she can't know for a while. Anyway, she hasn't found out yet. Next. Open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket suddenly made a suggestion, which aroused the expectations of the three major snakes. Heim. Our feather. Your talent is so outstanding, would you like to try our open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket? The idea of white snake immortal is very simple. Since Tokiyu is so good, maybe the latter will master their open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket master ultimate. In this way, she may be able to see the so-called turning dragon of the ancestors of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket in her lifetime. Chapter 310 Stalactite Cave. 10,000 Snakes. The Art of Transformation. Our feather. Your talent is so outstanding, would you like to try our open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket? Hearing the words of white snake immortal, Shiyu was also stunned. He obviously didn't expect the latter to make such a suggestion, knowing that ordinary testers come here hoping that white snake immortal will teach them sage art. But when he arrived at Shiyu's place, it was the other way around. Shiyu didn't have this idea originally, but now that white snake immortal proposed it, he also wanted to give it a try. Since the white snake mother-in-law said so, then I will try it. Good. The white snake immortal who responded was very excited. If what Shiyu said before was true, then her wish is likely to come true. 7 days, a brand new open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket can be created, and this talent should be able to cultivate their open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket to ultimate. The next second, I saw white snake immortal wave his sleeve robe. Uzumaki appeared in the crowd, which was the spatial portal leading to the charming state of mind. From this hand, it can be seen that white snake immortal's time and space ninjutsu attainments are indeed very high. Come with me. Voice fell, and the white fairy stepped into it. When Shiyu saw this, he followed closely behind. As for the three snakes Heim, after they looked at each other, they followed in without hesitation. Obviously, they also want to know how fast Shiyu can master their Raichi Cave's sage mode. Their thoughts are not whether Tokiyu can become a master, but how quickly he can become a master. This shows that they have recognized Tokiyu's strength from the bottom of their hearts. After entering the charming state of mind, White Snake Immortal did not cast any sage art here, but use this different space as a bridge to other places. This is like open black lens bracket Kamui close black lens bracket. After mastering the open black lens bracket space mark close black lens bracket anywhere in reality, you can open a channel to a fixed location through a different space transmission. Walk in space for a while. I saw the white snake immortal sleeve robe again, and I saw a sudden tear in a dark place. That's a space rift that leads to the dark cavern. After doing this, white snake immortal glancing at Shiyu and the others, without speaking, took the lead out of the space crack. After exiting the space crack, Shiyu and others came to a cave made of stalactites, and there were countless sharp stalactites standing above and below the cave. Some are separated, some are connected. The shape is the same, the size is different. Drop. Occasionally, a drop of stone milk drips down from the top of the head, which is why there are occasionally a few potholes on the ground. These pitted pools not only do not affect the beauty of the cave, but add a bit of mystery to it. Not only that, the natural energy here is also quite rich, and the stone ladder array of Dragon Transformation Hall in front of the silk is poor. You must know that there is an array there, but here it is a natural gathering. In contrast, it pales in comparison. There are also some special stones scattered here. To be precise, they are stone sculptures. Most of these stone carvings are snakes, and a small number of them are snake-like. Aware of this, Shiyu already knew that these stone carvings were not just stone carvings they carved out of boredom. When Shiyu thought of it like this, White Snake Immortal also mentioned it. Our feather. Since you have mastered sage art, you should know the origin of these stone carvings. Shiyu nodded, then said, most of these stone sculptures are from your Raichi Cave, Snake Clan, and those snake people among them should be trial people who came to practice sage art. Good! Exclamation mark quote. Sage art, although powerful, it also comes with great risks. And the sage mode of our Raichi Cave is that the more it looks like a dragon, the more perfect it is. Therefore, if humans practice, their appearance will gradually snake. But it's just a transition. Dragon transformation is the root. Whether it's our snake family or you humans, once you practice it, double horns will grow on your head when you use it. And the length of the double horns represents the level of sage art's attainment. Hearing the words of White Snake Immortal, Shiyu also looked at the stone carvings carefully, and none of them had double horns. Not even a little bit. Apparently, they all failed to practice sage art successfully, resulting in an imbalance of energy in their bodies, and eventually reduced to a stone sculpture. Open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket it's too difficult. Otherwise, the huge open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket would not have only 4 people to learn open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. Anyway, there are currently 444s that Shiyu knows about, and it is unknown if there are others. And in the stalactite cave at this moment, in addition to the Shiyu 5 people and those stone sculptures, there are also some figures. But those are not people, but snakes. This place is an excellent place to practice sage art, and whenever there are snakes who want to practice, they will come here. The testers who cleared the customs also came here to practice. This is why White Snake Immortal led Shiyu here. However, due to the practice of open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket, there is a very high risk. Therefore, even snakes in the Holy Land will not try it easily. Moreover, not all snakes can try. Because it takes talent to perceive natural energy. Humans are no exception, and snakes are no exception. There are smart snakes, and naturally there are also stupid ones. So there are very few snakes that can perceive natural energy, which also leads to the fact that there are not too many snake shadows in this place on weekdays. Among these snakes, Shiyu saw a familiar snake figure. It's not another snake, it's Wand Snake. Shiyu may not know that Wand Snake has been here for many years, but White Snake Immortal and the 3 major Snakesheim are well aware of it. 2 years, 2 full years. You must know that ordinary snakes will not continue after a period of insensitivity. But Wan Qi persisted for 2 years. If nothing else, he should have sensed natural energy. But because of the limitation of talent, I can't practice it all the time. Therefore, I stay for 2 years. It didn't actually petrify in the practice. Which is obviously a very lucky thing. Do not have sage art qualification even if they perceive natural energy, it is difficult to have results. If it is forced to cultivate, the final result will be petrification. Therefore, Wan Snake is lucky. As for the reason why open black lens bracket Wan Snake close black lens bracket insists on practicing open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket, it is estimated that it has something to do with open black lens bracket recentric and close black lens bracket, who has won him for more than 2 years. Because, once the master has sage mode, the recovery power of open black lens bracket natural energy close black lens bracket, even if you get hit with open black lens bracket recentric and close black lens bracket, you will not be so embarrassed. Of course, the most important point is estimated to be open black lens bracket shape-changing technique close black lens bracket. This open black lens bracket shape-shaping technique close black lens bracket is a kind of open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket, which can only be performed by condensing open black lens bracket sage art chakra close black lens bracket. White Snake Immortal and the 3 great snakes Heim can be transformed into human form is because of this sage art. The snakes, who were immersed in perception, did not pay too much attention at first. Because this is a clean place, there is a rule that you can't make noise. But a big snake who had withdrawn from meditation because of a failure of perception could not calm down when he saw the White Snake Immortal and the 3 great snakes Heim. Why did the old man come? Words came out, the quiet stalactite cave suddenly became restless. Chapter 311 _ Silly, confused. Hearing the arrival of White Snake Immortal, all the snakes in the stalactite cave opened their tightly closed eyes. At this moment, all eyes fell on Shiyu's 5 people. Not only the ancestors, but also the 3 snake Lord Heim are here. What kind of wind made them come here together? Maybe that human has something to do with it. White Snake Immortal and the 3 snakes Heim are naturally recognized, because the 4 of them are all Ryachi Cave with detached identities. In open black lens bracket Ryachi Cave close black lens bracket, all their snakes are at their command. That human is a tester, right? It should be. Only through the test of the 3 major snakes Heim and the test of the Dragon Transformation Hall can you be qualified to be brought here. But why did Lord White Snake Immortal come in person, and also, along with Heim, the 3 major snakes? I don't understand. At this moment, all snakes are full of doubts. Because this is the first time they see each other. That's why. The eyes of the snakes could not help but fall on Shiyu, and they began to look at the human boy. And among this group of snakes, there was a snake whose eyes were staring at Shiyu, extremely cold. This snake has a very high reputation in open black lens bracket Ryachi Cave close black lens bracket. It is open black lens bracket 1 snake close black lens bracket which ranks in the 2nd echelon of psychic beasts. There is obviously a reason why it stared at Shiyu like this. Because he almost died at the hands of this young man for more than 2 years. Although Shiyu's appearance has changed a little, he still recognizes it. Since then, he has deeply imprinted the appearance of Shiyu in his mind. As soon as he had the chance, he would have the latter peel off his skin and cramp, and eat it alive. The reason why he has not started for more than 2 years is because of the delay in practicing sage art. Originally it didn't care much, but I heard that open black lens bracket red snake Shin Kiba close black lens bracket has made great progress in open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket cultivation. Competitive and competitive, it can only put Shiyu's affairs on hold for the time being. It is not as good as Yaki Orochi, but it is unwilling to lose to Red Snake Shinkiba, who is equal to its own status. Originally, the strength of open black lens bracket Red Snake Shinkiba close black lens bracket was slightly better than it. If the latter was allowed to be one step ahead of the master open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket, then it would be overwhelmed by it for the rest of her life. This result is obviously not what it wants to see. Therefore, it has been cultivating sage art crazily for nearly 3 years, hoping to realize it first, Red Snake Shinkiba. But what he never expected was that he would meet Shiyu here. It's true that there is a way to heaven and you won't go. There is no door to hell, you just cast it. Thinking of this, Wand Snake is also no nonsense. I saw its body wriggling, and with a few squeaks, it appeared in front of Shiyu's 5 people 5. I have seen my ancestor. I have seen 3 snakes, Lord Heim. Seeing this, Wand Snake stopped him waiting for the road, and White Snake Immortal asked. Wand Snake, what's the matter with you? Because of the White Snake Immortal and the 3 big snakes, Wand Snake can't kill him directly even if he sees his enemy Yuhi. Before it starts, it must be approved by the White Snake Immortal. Ancestor, this young man can be handed over to me. Open black lens bracket Wand Snake close black lens bracket Senin was cold, his gaze at Shiyu was extremely cold, as if he was looking at a corpse. For more than 2 years, in a battle in the suburbs of Wuyuan Town Short Book Street, it thought that it was attacked by Shiyu after fighting with Toad Wentai and Slug. You must know, that time it came back, but it recovered for half a year. Because of its abnormal embarrassment. So he did not tell the snakes that he was injured by a human being. Just a perfunctory, saying that it was a sneak attack. Feeling the murderous aura coming from this Wand Snake, the humanoid White Snake Immortal frowned slightly. Open black lens bracket Wand Snake close black lens bracket. This young man is a tester who passed my Raichi cave. According to the rules, he must not be hurt. But what? White Snake Immortal interrupted Wand Snake directly. She knew that although Shiyu was young, she was a master who couldn't be messed with. Moreover, she wants to let Shiyu practice the open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket. Naturally, she can't let open black lens bracket Wand Snake close black lens bracket to be evil with him. With White Snake Immortal there, Wand Snake naturally can't force it. So, it can only spit out the secret that has been buried for 2 years. Ancestor, you don't know everything. This tester is the human who made me seriously injured in a sneak attack more than 2 years ago. Wand Snake, as soon as these words came out, there was an uproar in the field. Obviously, this is something that no one expected. Even if the White Snake Immortal and the 3 major snakes Heim are no exception, such a small probability can happen. Tens of thousands of ninjas in the world, but it happened today. Is it fate or a coincidence, or in other words, it's fate? The stunned expressions on the faces of the snakes' onlookers obviously did not expect Shiyu to have such a skill. Because of what they think, Shiyu is only a 15 or 6-year-old boy and Wand Snake, who is it in the latter as their Raichi cave being ranked in the top 10 in strength, except for White Snake Immortal and the 3 major snakes, Heim, can all be ranked in the top 3. Such a powerful being was seriously injured by a human teenager. Although it was a sneak attack, it was shocking enough. At this moment, they seemed to understand why the White Snake Immortal and the 3 major snakes Heim would get along with each other. You came to this open black lens bracket stalactite cave close black lens bracket together. The faces of all the snakes onlookers were incredulous, but the faces of White Snake Immortal and Heim, the 3 great snakes, did not show much consternation. Because the 4 of them know Akatsuki Tokyu's power. Tokyu's evildoer, even 2 years ago, was definitely a terrible existence. Hearing Wand Snake's words, White Snake Immortal glanced at Shiyu. It turns out that Shiyu is the human who injured you. Ancestor, if it wasn't for the Toad Bunta from Mount Myoboku and the Slug from Shikatsu Forest to join forces to fight against me, I wouldn't let this human kid take advantage of it. So, please also ask the ancestors to hand over this human boy to me. Wand Snake, this is obviously to save his own face, Otherwise, if you say that you have been injured by a human boy to become that virtuous, you will definitely be laughed at by the snakes. In his view, Shiyu is just a tester who has cleared the level, and it is the famous existence of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket. Now it has spoken in person. There is no accident, White Snake Immortal should hand Shiyu to it. However, before White Snake Immortal could answer, Aikijima Haim on the side was the first to speak. Wan Snake, hurry up and apologize to Sir Shiyu. Open black lens bracket Aikijima Haim close black lens bracket. As soon as these words came out, the audience instantly exploded. This result was completely beyond their expectations. They all once suspected that they had heard it wrong, and it was clearly Shiyu's sneak attack that seriously injured Wan Snake. Now Wan Snake not only wants no one, but also apologizes to the latter. What's the reason? They really can't understand this operation. Wan Snake, this snake is even more stunned on the spot. Chapter 312 Suffocated Snakes. Reverse katakana middle dot spirituality. Wan Snake, hurry up and apologize to Sir Shiyu. Aikijishima Haim close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Wanshi close black lens bracket was stunned for a long time before he came back to his senses. Open black lens bracket Aikijima Haim close black lens bracket. Let it make amends for Shiyu. Why not say that Shiyu injured him first? The key is that it did not conflict with Shiyu at this moment. But it's not stupid. As one of the three major snakes Haim in the open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket Aikijima Haim close black lens bracket, there is a certain reason to say so, especially the latter is called Tokiyu as an adult. In addition, White Snake Immortal also appeared together, which is enough to prove Shiyu's extraordinary. Susu, the huge snake body wriggled a few times because of confusion, and asked respectfully. Sir Shima Haim, are you kidding me? Do you look like I'm joking? Shijishima Haim smashed lightly, and then said, Sir Shiyu is now not only a tester who passed the test, but also a guest of our Raichi cave. Getting the confirmation, open black lens bracket Wan Snake close black lens bracket was shocked. Although he had a hunch in his heart, after getting the confirmation, it was inevitable that he couldn't accept it for a while. It never thought that Shiyu would be the guest of their Raichi cave. This is incredible. In today's world, there are almost no people or psychic beasts who can be led by the White Snake Immortal personally. But today, it appeared. It originally thought that White Snake Immortal and the three major snakes Haim came to this stalactite cave together for something. But now it seems that their trip must have something to do with Shiyu. Sure enough. At this moment, Wan Shi found that Tien Shinshin Haim and Tanjin Haim were winking at it, signaling it to quickly apologize to Shiyu. Even if he didn't have any positive conflict with Shiyu just now, but once he came, he begged White Snake Immortal to hand Shiyu over to her. This is undoubtedly offensive, so they are trying to put things down before they get too serious. Knowing the meaning of the three major snakes Haim, Wan Snake, even if he is helpless, he does not dare to complain. It is not that Yaki Orochi, it has no such confidence. In the entire Raichi cave, except for the White Snake Immortal, other snakes are subject to the constraints of the three major snakes Haim. But there is one exception, it is the Yaki Orochi. Although it has not become a guardian, its status in Raichi cave is no worse than the three major snakes Haim. Not for others, just because of its powerful strength. If the strength of White Snake Immortal is ranked first in Raichi cave, then it must be ranked second. Open black lens bracket Yaki Orochi close black lens bracket. It is also the snake that has mastered open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket. It is powerful and has a bad temper, so basically no one can control it. As for open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket. If it wasn't a big deal, she wouldn't be bothered to care about Yaki Orochi, she basically closed one eye with one eye. Reason is very simple, open black lens bracket Yaki Orochi close black lens bracket is the indispensable powerhouse of their open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket. The world of ninjas, and occasionally there will be wars in their world. If there is no strong strength to protect. Open black lens bracket Ryachi Cave close black lens bracket How to be a holy place. Why did they sign contracts with humans? Is it because they are full and like to help ninjas? Other words, they are not born ninjas. On the surface, they seem to be helping human ninjas, but in fact they can help each other. Other words, they can also summon ninjas to help them when they are in danger. This is the meaning of the existence of reverse spiritualism. However, their world rarely has such disputes. Although it is small, it is not non-existent. Otherwise, how did the titles of the three holy places come from? And part of the reason is that they were threatened by tailed beast. All the beasts are wandering outside. Akichi Orochi defeating five-tailed King Mew happened hundreds of years ago, which was before the Sengoku era. At that time, there was no Konoha, no Jinchuriki column power, and 5 villages. After a lot of struggle in the heart of Wand Snake, a very reluctant word came out of its mouth. I'm sorry, I just said the wrong thing. Who did you say sorry to? Hearing Shiyu's words, Wand Snake Kiba, the Senran Shie in that mouth, clenched tightly together. That voice seemed to be able to not even steal, showing the dissatisfaction in his heart at this time. Mingming almost died at the hands of Shiyu 2 years ago, but now he finally sees the enemy, but he can't do it. In the end, he also apologized for his rude words. What is this, the most hateful thing? He still can't resist. Just when Wand Snake was furious, Tien Shinshinheim spoke up. Open black lens bracket Wand Snake close black lens bracket. Although it was only called by its name, there was an unquestionable meaning in that tone. In this regard, Wand Snake is also helpless. He knows that it is impossible to do anything to Shiyu today. The latter has the support of White Snake Immortal and the three Snakes Heim, and he can't fight no matter what. It's not that his arms can't twist his thighs anymore, it's clearly pressing 4 mountains on his body, forcing him to surrender. I'm sorry. I was wrong just now, I hope Lord Shiyu forgives me. It's no wonder that Wand Snake is so reluctant, even Orochimaru would not dare to speak to him like this. It has never bent over anyone else in its life except for the White Snake Immortal, Yaki Orochi, and the 3 great snakes Heim. What's more, Shiyu is still a human being. A boy of 15 or 16 years old. As the words of Wand Snake landed, the other snakes in the stalactite cave also spit out snake letters, as if smacking their tongues. At this moment, the snakes became more and more curious about Shiyu's identity, what kind of existence this human boy was in front of him, to make White Snake Immortal value him so much. Just as all the snakes were talking about it, the White Snake Immortal finally spoke up. Our feather. The so-called, no fight, no acquaintance. Since the White Snake mother-in-law has spoken, I naturally have no opinion, but I don't know if the snake is willing or not. Hearing Shiyu's answer, before the White Snake Immortal could answer, Aikikishima Heim was the first to speak. What opinion can it have? What opinion does it dare to have? The 2 sentences of Aikijima Heim directly concluded the matter. Was grateful that Shiyu didn't need to wait by her side. If she hadn't jumped out to help Shiyu at this moment, she was afraid that Shiyu would regret it. And Aikijima Heim's remarks also gave Wanshi a step down, and the latter could only accept it readily. Amashima Heim-sama said very small, no opinion. Even though the Wand Snake at this moment was reluctant in every possible way, it was obviously settled for this suffocation. Seeing this, Tanjin also spoke up. Ancestor. Now that things are settled, let's get down to business. Words of Tanjin all the snakes including Wand Snake became curious. They know that the White Snake Immortal and the 3 major snakes Heim will gather here today, and there must be something extraordinary. But as for what it is, they don't know. At this moment, their eyes are all locked on the body of White Snake Immortal waiting for Akatsuki's answer. Chapter 313 Cultivation Conditions. Blood-packed scroll. Ancestor. Now that things are settled, let's get down to business. Hearing Tangenheim's words, White Snake Immortal also nodded and said immediately. Show you are ready. Any time. For Shiyu's confidence, open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket and the three great snakes Heim have no doubts. Our feather. When cultivating our open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket of open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket, you must sign a blood contract with a snake. Only in this way can you practice our Sage Art. Hearing the words of White Snake Immortal, Shiyu was not surprised. Originally, he didn't know there was such a request, and it was only when he chatted with Slug Immortal that he discovered it. Sage Art close black lens bracket of the three holy lands, the prerequisite is to sign a blood contract. That's why. Shiyu only knew why the Sage Art of Mount Myoboku was not perfect and would, toad. Cultivation of open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket imperfect will, snake. The reason. At this moment, everyone also understood the reason why White Snake Immortal appeared here. The only thing that made everyone curious is to teach a tester Sage Art. Why do you want to mobilize the crowd like this? Even the White Snake Immortal is alarmed. As usual, the testers only had a play at the White Snake Immortal. Then, one of the three major snakes Heim can bring it over to know how to practice. Now, not only the three major snakes Heim were present, but even the master of their open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket also appeared in person. This inevitably made them wonder what was the reason behind this move, and just when they were suspicious, Shiyu nodded. Good. Seeing this, the White Snake Immortal looked at Tien Shinshinheim. Then, he whispered softly. Godheim. Hearing this, Tien Shinshinheim already understood the meaning of the former. I saw her jade arm swipe on her chest, and suddenly a yuhi-colored scroll appeared in everyone's field of vision. No doubt that this is the blood-packed scroll of Raichi Cave. Blood-packed scroll, as the name suggests, it is a scroll specially used to sign a psychic blood pact with humans. Blood-packed scroll is a very important thing. After Tien Shinshinheim successfully transformed into Sage Art, it has been kept by her. Immediately after, Tien Shinshinheim tap with your fingertips, and the blood deed scroll is slowly spread out, with one name after another on it. He basically didn't know a lot of the previous ones, only the back 444. Fourth last, Orochimaru. Third last, Mitarashi Anko. Second last. First last, Uchiha Sasuke. When Tokiyu was staring at the blood-packed scroll, the voice of White Snake Immortal sounded again. Little feather, do you know how to do it? Seeing Shiyu nodded, White Snake Immortal continued, then leave your name on it. As the voice of White Snake Immortal fell, Shiyu did not delay. Who has had two experiences, is naturally not unfamiliar with this. I saw that he bit his finger, and then left his name on the scroll. It is an eye-catching big character, open black lens bracket Takagawa Takiwa close black lens bracket. And then covered with his own, 5-finger handprint. Exclamation mark. So far, the psychic blood contract with open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket has been successfully completed. At the same time, at this moment, Shiyu also accomplished an unprecedented feat. A person also signed a psychic beast in the world. The three holy lands. That was undoubtedly one thing Shiyu wanted to accomplish when he came to this world, and he has done it now. Why he couldn't help but have a smile on his face at the moment. Seeing this, Aikijima Heim couldn't help but ask. Lord Shiyu, signing a psychic blood contract will make you so happy. That way I can always summon you, Shima Heim's sister. As soon as Shiyu's words came out, the scene immediately fell silent. Shima Heim chanted silently in her heart, and all the snakes thought they had heard it wrong for a while. Open black lens bracket Ikijima Hime close black lens bracket is the snake and the latter is the guardian of them. Open black lens bracket Ryachi Cave close black lens bracket, one of the 5 powerhouses of the master. Open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket. Originally, they thought that Ikijima Hime called Tokyu, Sir Tokiha. It's just respect for him, but what I didn't expect is that the latter actually calls her sister. A 15 or 16-year-old boy calls a guardian who has lived for nearly 1,000 years as his sister. Can they be shocked? But it is not this that shocked them the most, but Ikijima Hime is not angry. And when the snakes were so stunned, the white snake immortal said again. Okay. Since the psychic blood contract has been signed, let's start practicing Sage Art now. Then there will be Granny Laobai Snake. Shiyu replied politely. Hearing this, the white snake immortal looked at the stone pier in front of him, which was almost the same in size and shape. Our feather. There are more than a dozen stone piers there, which are the places for the testers and the clansmen after the transformation. You can choose one and sit down. Good. Shiyu responded lightly and walked to the nearest stone pier. These stone piers are not very particular, the effect is undoubtedly the same as the ground, and their purpose is only to have a place to sit when practicing after transformation. After all, after transforming, it is human. It is for this reason, so there is no competition for positions in this stalactite cave. Whether you can become Sage Art depends on your own talent. After Shiyu sat down, White Snake Immortal also walked slowly to Shiyu's side. Immediately after. Open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket is under the eyes of all the snakes. He began to teach Shiyu and the others the cultivation method of open black lens bracket Ryachi Cave Sage Art close black lens bracket. See you. Except for Hime, the 3 major snakes, the rest of the snakes looked surprised. Because they have lived for so long, it is the first time that I have seen White Snake Immortal come here to personally guide the testers to practice Sage Art. Because since the 3 snakes Hime Master became Sage Art, this kind of teaching has fallen on them. However, there was another reason why they didn't see it. That's because he didn't live long enough. Before the 3 snakes Hime became Master Sage Art, this task was still carried out by the White Snake Immortal himself. They only know that there are only 444 who were personally instructed by the White Snake Immortal in the current Ryachi Cave, that is, the 3 major snakes Hime and the Dragon Cave, in front of them. Among them, the Yaki Orochi. As for them, they don't have this blessing yet. Only when they successfully master Sage Art, White Snake Immortal can further guide them. Therefore, they can only listen to when the White Snake Immortal guides Ichiji Island Hime, the 4 snakes. This is the greatest blessing. But Shiyu is just a human trial. How can he let their ancestors teach them personally when such doubts arose in their hearts? An exclamation made the whole stalactite cave completely quiet down. That tester has practiced it. Chapter 314 _ The Power of Blood Pact. Change of Jiao Jiao. That tester has practiced it. As soon as these words came out, the entire stalactite cave instantly boiled. At this moment, the eyes of all the snakes were focused on Shiyu. At this time, the latter's hair was standing on end, and his body was overflowing with golden light, and there was an incomparably thick open black lens bracket power of Sage Art close black lens bracket. They will not perceive this kind of breath, because it is not an ordinary chakra. It's open black lens bracket Sage Art chakra close black lens bracket. But that's not the point. The point is that Shiyu's eyes have changed from black to a pair of golden open black lens bracket snake eyes close black lens bracket. This is a sign that humans have practiced their Ryachi Cave Sage Mode. Only successfully cultivated Sage Mode the pupils will change. Seeing this scene, all the snakes were stunned. Even the White Snake Immortal and the 3 major snakes Hime, who had long known Master Shiyu, Sage Art, were no exception. Although both are open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket, there are always differences. However, Shiyu gave open black lens bracket Raichi Cave Sage Mode close black lens bracket to the master after listening to open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket. What a genius talent this is. Can it not shock them, White Snake Immortal, and Haim, the three major snakes, not to mention Wand Snake and other snakes? It's possible. What the hell is this human? I don't know, but one thing is certain. This person is definitely an extremely pervert evildoer. Quote. When all the snakes were talking about it, only Shiyu knew it in his heart. Because this open black lens bracket Raichi Cave Sage Mode close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Shikatsu Forest Sage Mode close black lens bracket have the same purpose. Master the moment he finished speaking in White Snake Immortal, so he didn't need to spend any extra time thinking about it. They all use Blood Pact as a guide when condensing, absorb natural energy, to combine their own strength to create Sage Art Chakra and enter Sage Mode. Reason why Blood Deed is cited is because Blood Deed can better integrate mental energy, physical energy, and natural energy. Rather than saying that it is a blood pact, it is better that it is a container of dereconciliation, where the three energies can be gathered together more easily. This is why the open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket created by Tokyo is more difficult than the open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket of the three major holy places. He said that the open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket developed without any support. If you want to successfully enter Sage Mode, you must integrate yourself with nature. This is not easy to do, because everyone's body is different. So everyone's balance point is different. If you want to learn, you can only rely on yourself. And when the snakes thought that Shiyu had only learned the Sage Mode initially, the next scene was an instant slap in the face. I saw the golden light overflowing from Shiyu's body, which turned into a chakra coat, and there were golden snakes cruising around. Not only that. At this moment, Shiyu's eyes were bright, and even a pair of exquisite horns grew on his head. It's not obvious, but it does exist. No doubt that it is the dragon horn. Exclamation mark. If the appearance of open black lens bracket snake eyes close black lens bracket means that Shiyu has learned the open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket of open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket, then the appearance of open black lens bracket dragon horn close black lens bracket means that Shiyu has completely mastered this open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket. At this moment, everyone was already stunned. However, the matter did not end there. I saw that the golden light on Shiyu's body became more and more flaming, and the pair of snake eyes began to transform. Become more and more profound, as if filled with stars. Bright and majestic, it is daunting. When the eyes change, the rest of Yu's body is also changing. That was cruising around Shiyu turned into a giant snake at this moment. Moreover, the dragon horns on the head are also drawn a lot longer. If we want to divide the Sage Mode of Raichi Cave into stages, Shiyu has undoubtedly entered the third stage at this moment. The first stage is the transformation of snake eyes. The second stage is the transformation of dragon horns. As for the third stage, it is the transformation of Jiao Jiao. This level is only reached by the ancestors of Raichi Cave. After that, no one else could do it. Even the White Snake Immortal in front of him is currently only at the peak of the second stage dragon horn transformation. So far, the mystery of this third stage transformation of Jiao Jiao has not been peeked into. Open black lens bracket transmutation of Jiao Jiao close black lens bracket. Make the body and limbs extremely strong, with golden scales attached. Therefore, the third stage of the change of Jiao Jiao can also be called the change of dragon scales. But in just a few minutes, Shiyu has not only learned the Sage Mode of their Raichi Cave. Moreover, it also reached the third stage. It directly reached the height of their strongest ancestors, Raichi Cave, which made them feel full of incredible. In the past, they only heard that one of their ancestors had achieved the transfiguration of Jiao Jiao, but they had never seen it with their own eyes. Although it was a human being who reached the transfiguration of Zhao Zhao, at this time, they were also a feast for the eyes. It can be said that it is a scene of a lifetime. If Shiyu arrives today, I am afraid that they will not be able to see this, Wahiao, until their generation dies. View. At this moment, all the snakes were staring at Shiyu, who was sitting on the stone pier. The previous disdain and doubts have long since vanished. They were replaced by deep shock and anticipation. They were shocked that Shiyu could do this in just a few minutes, and they were looking forward to whether Shiyu could go further. Let them see the final change of the dragon. If possible, they will have no regrets in this life. A dragon is undoubtedly the wish of every Raichi Cave clansman's dream. Even if they can't do it themselves, they hope someone can do it, whether it's a human or a snake. Looking at Shiyu's appearance at the moment, Tian Shinshinheim couldn't help asking White Snake Immortal. Ancestor, what is the appearance of Shiyu's younger brother? It's not wrong, that's Hua Zhao. White Snake Immortal responded with a sound, and then said, our Raichi Cave Sage Mode can be roughly divided into 4 levels. Xiaoyu's current appearance is the 3rd level in the mouths of our ancestors. Old ancestor, do you think that younger brother Shiyu can reach the final level? Tangenheim asked. I'm not sure about that either. Although Xiaoyu's talent is incomparable, the final level is really too difficult, and it can be said that it is beyond the reach of human beings. It's as hard as the sky for a snake clan, not to mention he's just a contractor. Open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket. It's not that you look down on Shiyu, but that the open black lens bracket Sage Mode close black lens bracket by which the contractors cultivated them is itself a weakness. After all, this is based on the Sage Mode created by their snake family. If human beings want to reach the highest level, it will undoubtedly be thousands of times harder than them, or even higher. This is an innate shackle and cannot be changed. And this innate shackle may be an insurmountable gap in the eyes of others, but it is not difficult for Shiyu. Not for others, just because he has a hang. Chapter 315_Longyan shakes the sky. Senpo, Sage Art Katakana middle dot Longwa. Stalactite Cave, all the snakes were staring at Shiyu. Listening to the conversation between White Snake Immortal and his 2 sisters, Ikijishima Haim also mixed in a sentence. Old ancestor, big sister, second sister. No matter how powerful that guy is, he can't make it to the last step. Our Raichi Cave's Sage Mode was created by our ancestors according to the characteristics of our clan. Our ancestors have stopped here. How could he, a human being, break this innate shackle? As for open black lens bracket Ikijima Haim close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket is not sure though. But there is no denying it. Obviously, they also hold such thoughts in their hearts. Open black lens bracket One Snake close black lens bracket, you said that the human would not really want to open black lens bracket transform dragon close black lens bracket. The one who spoke was a cyan giant python curled up beside open black lens bracket One Snake close black lens bracket, which was a psychic beast belonging to the 3rd echelon of open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket. Its name, Blue Snake. Impossible. This kind of thing has never been done by our ancestors in Raichi Cave. He is just a human. Being able to achieve this step of Hua Zhao is already a blessing from heaven, and wanting to go further is simply a fool's dream. One Snake hesitant to hold a grudge against Shiyu. Naturally he doesn't want to see Shiyu take the last step. Therefore, there is no room for words. This is the so-called, what the heart wants, because of hatred. Let's do it. After the voice of One Snake fell, and before Blue Snake responded, one came from behind them. I don't think so. If Shiyu heard this voice, it must be no stranger. Because he had seen this python with a snake body covered with patterns, and had a relationship with open black lens bracket Mitarashi Enko close black lens bracket over a year ago when they went to open black lens bracket Sea Country close black lens bracket to perform a mission. It is the latter's psychic beast, open black lens bracket flower snake close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket flower snake close black lens bracket is also ranked in the third echelon of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket. Because of this, they also have a great position in Raichi cave. Susu. As the subtle sound of the snake body rubbing the ground became louder and louder, until it finally stopped, flower snake came to wand snake and beside the green snake. Seeing this, green snake couldn't help but ask. Flower snake, why are you here? There is such a big movement here, it is estimated that it will soon spread throughout the Raichi cave. I'm afraid it won't be long before this place will be full of snakes. I just happened to pass by here, so I came faster. It's just that I didn't expect that it would be a human being, a human boy I know, who caused this movement. Hearing flower snake's words, green snake was startled, and couldn't help asking. Flower snake, you know that tester? I saw it once. Flower snake responded, and then said, if I remember correctly, he took you as the ninja of Konoha hidden village of fire country. Also, it seems to be a genin. What genin? The open black lens bracket blue snake close black lens bracket while talking was stunned. He never expected that the person making such a noise would be a genin. Although wand snake said that he was seriously injured by a sneak attack by Shiyu, the ninja strength that can seriously injure him will never fall anywhere, but who would have thought that such strength is only a genin of Konoha, which makes them feel a little bit in a trance. Konoha is now so powerful that a genin has the capital to seriously injure open black lens bracket million snakes close black lens bracket. Then if you come with a chunin, you can defeat open black lens bracket million snakes close black lens bracket. That jonin. Isn't it going to go against the sky? However, they think that Shiyu is just a special case. This explanation will make it easier for them to accept. And just as they were talking, a sudden roar gathered their attention again. Roar. This sound made all the snakes present have a deafening roar, as if the body was under a kind of suppression. Not for anything else, just because it was a dragon chant. Exclamation mark. As this dragon chant sounded, Shiyu's body changed again. I saw that the dragon scales on Shiyu's body became brighter and brighter, like a pair of golden armor. A pair of dragon eyes are vast and dazzling, like the sea of stars. A pair of dragon horns are flawless, just like their natural talents. But that's not the point is that the dragon python hovering around Shiyu has transformed into a dragon. Roar, roar, roar. With the sound of dragon chants one after another, in a moment, they completely turned into dragons. No doubt that Shiyu has entered the 4th level. This moment. There are more and more snakes in the stalactite cave, and the huge space is about to be squeezed out. Immediately after, Shiyu turned into a golden dragon under the stunned gazes of the snakes, circling in the middle of the cave. The huge body will seem to occupy most of the sky above the entire stalactite cave, overlooking the snakes such as White Snake Immortal from a high place. At this moment, Shiyu seems to be their master, their king. This scene shocked all the snakes. Looking at Shiyu's dragon form cruising in the void, all the snakes are ignorant appalled look. They never imagined that what their own family could not do would be done by a human being. You must know that the open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket is created based on their family, and it is more difficult for the contractors to practice than them. But now, Shiyu not only practiced the sage mode of their holy land in such a short period of time with a human body. Moreover, it also verifies an ancient legend of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket. That is, turning dragon. Exclamation mark. Open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket can do, turn into dragon. The story has been circulated in their family for many years, but it has not been confirmed so far. Over time, they all began to suspect that maybe it was just a lie. After all, they even handed down the ancestors who reached the level of Hua Jiao. of the snakes present have ever seen it with their own eyes, and the current master of the open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket has only reached the peak of open black lens bracket second level dragon horn transformation close black lens bracket. Therefore, it will make people feel turned into a dragon. It's simply an impossible thing. But now, Shiyu is breaking this concept. He trained their Raichi cave sage mode to the highest level with his human body, and turned into a dragon in front of their eyes. At this moment, they had to accept this fact. At this moment, Shiyu was undoubtedly attracting everyone's attention. Looking at Shiyu standing in front of the white snake immortal, all the snakes had mixed feelings in their hearts. Although Shiyu is a human, but after mastering open black lens bracket Raichi cave sage mode close black lens bracket to ultimate, he can actually turn his body into a dragon. At this time, Shiyu can be human form or dragon form. And this dragon form is not a simple transformation technique, but a more advanced, purer and lethal dragon transformation technique. As the name suggests, this technique can only transform into a dragon. To understand this technique, you can only master the open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket to ultimate. Because it is not an ordinary art, but open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. Chapter 316 The way to prolong life. Red snake katakana middle dot shinkiba. In a stalactite cave. Under the gaze of all the snakes, the golden light on Shiyu's body began to dim. His face, the dragon horns on his head, the dragon scales on his body, and the golden little dragon hovering around him gradually faded away. The original appearance was restored. Mother-in-law White Snake, thank you. With Shiyu's words falling, the silence in the arena was finally broken. At this moment, all the snakes just came to their senses. Don't thank me, this is your own creation. White Snake Immortal does not mean flattery, what she said is the truth. If Shiyu didn't pass the test and went up to practice open black lens bracket Raichi cave sage mode close black lens bracket, then you really need to thank open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket. But Shiyu has already passed the 3-level trial assessment and obtained the qualification to practice sage art. Moreover, it was White Snake Immortal who offered to give Shiyu a try. Of course, the most important point is talent. If it wasn't for Shiyu's amazing talent, even if the White Snake Immortal personally guided him, he wouldn't be able to achieve such a remarkable achievement. As the voice of White Snake Immortal fell, Aikijima Haim spoke for the second time. Lord Shiyu, I knew you wouldn't let me down. Little sister, you don't seem to have said that just now. Tien Shinshinheim, Demolition Road. I didn't finish talking just now. It's very difficult for a human being of ordinary meaning to cultivate our holy lands, sage art, to ultimate, but Tokyo-sama is obviously not an ordinary person. From the time he sat on that stone pier, I knew he could do it. Open black lens bracket Aikijima Haim close black lens bracket speaking seriously, as if this is the truest thought in her heart. This dignified Raichi cave, one of the 3 major snakes Haim, not long ago was a guardian of high above. First, I became a helpless maid, and now I became a flatterer in the blink of an eye. Although this change in attitude is hard to believe, it is a source of hope. No accident, it should be related to the open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket of Shiyu Shoshung and the others open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket. If Shiyu just learned sage mode, that's all, she would at most admire her. But the problem is that Shiyu has practiced their Raichi cave's sage mode to the highest level, confirming the theory of transforming dragons. This alone is enough to make her worship. Not to mention her, many people present have this idea at this time. The eyes they looked at Shiyu at this time completely changed. It was not a weak human being, but an existence like a fairy. Words of open black lens bracket Aikikishima Haim close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket Tangentienheim close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Tangenheim close black lens bracket giggled. Brother Shiyu, you really surprised me. Tangenheim with a smile on his face. This is the first time that he is completely convinced by a human being. It would be fine if she simply lost to Shiyu, but what Shiyu has done now really makes her admire. Because of this, he was also frustrated and convinced in his heart. Miss Jinheim. One essence is not enough, maybe you will become a great essence in the future. Shiyu said lightly, with no intention of being humble at all. Just that he flashed a wicked charm when he said this. I don't know what was going on under those deep eyes. Oh, then I'll wait. Tangenheim's answer made Shiyu want to laugh, but she was still held back by her. When Shiyu was chatting with open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket and the three major snakes Heim, open black lens bracket one snake close black lens bracket and other snakes were also talking about each other. At this moment, they finally knew why White Snake Immortal and the three major snakes Heim appeared here today. All of this is really related to Shiyu. At the same time, they seem to understand why Shiyu and why White Snake Immortal have such a good relationship, and they are also named as adults by Ikijishima Heim. Seeing a melancholy Wan Snake, Blue Snake said. Wan Snake, it seems that you have no hope of enmity. HMPH. Sooner or later I can turn into a dragon too. Wan Snake's anger, and Flower Snake couldn't stand it any longer. I said, Wan Snake, you should forget it. We've been practicing sage art for a long time, but today, we haven't even crossed the first threshold. While long, let's save it. Open black lens bracket Flower Snake close black lens bracket she is very self-aware. She feels that she is hopeless in this life open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket. So, she doesn't have this extravagance. Therefore, she rarely comes to this open black lens bracket stalactite cave close black lens bracket. She had also longed for and hoped for it, but in exchange it was ruthless blows again and again. The end, she gave up. It's really hard to practice sage art, not to say that there is no 1 in 1,000, but at least 1 in 1,000. Otherwise, today's open black lens bracket Ryochi cave close black lens bracket master open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket will not have only 5 snakes. Hearing Flower Snake's words, Wan Snake also felt a sense of powerlessness in his heart. Obviously, what the former said is the truth. None of their generation who practiced sage art has achieved it till now. Nowadays, the people who practice in this stalactite cave are basically the new generation, and these seniors will be gradually eliminated over time. Can't master open black lens bracket sage art close black lens bracket, you can't get longer lifespan. The open black lens bracket sage mode close black lens bracket created by these 3 holy places are all developed according to their own race, and once they succeed in cultivation, it can help them prolong their lifespan. As long as the master uses natural energy reasonably, he can live longer. And now Shiyu has created a kind of sage mode that belongs to human beings, which can also do this. And why do tailed beasts never die? Because they are aggregates of chakra. In fact, the chakra of tailed beast is not ordinary. Otherwise, how can their chakra be stronger than ordinary chakra? Moreover, human beings can only completely control this kind of animal by being roughly in line with the tailed beast, and it is difficult to control it with brute force. Once you absorb too much, you will fall into irritability. This situation is the same as absorbing too much natural energy, so there is a certain connection between them. Uchiha Madara uses open black lens bracket Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, close black lens bracket to keep instilling chakra in himself, which can prove that it is not ordinary chakra. Open black lens bracket Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, close black lens bracket is open black lens bracket 10 tails shell close black lens bracket, and open black lens bracket God tree real body close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket God tree close black lens bracket absorbs the aura of heaven and earth, the essence of sun and moon, and the chakra it makes is naturally unique ordinary. which naturally includes open black lens bracket Sage Art Chakra close black lens bracket. This is why Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Madara are able to use open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket after becoming open black lens bracket Ten Tails people Jinchuriki column force close black lens bracket. Just when all snakes turned into dragons, because of Shiyu. While discussing and exclaiming, a voice like a thunderbolt suddenly sounded. Who is Hua Long? As the sound spread, a figure of Kai Yuhi suddenly came rushing from the group of snakes. Sususaki Yuhi's figure came, all of which raised smoke and dust all over the place. The snakes see it. Most of them avoided them one after another, as if they were afraid of those who came. Only some existences such as White Snake Immortal, the three major snakes Haim and Wand Snake, Green Snake, Flower Snake, can calm down. But calm down, they still have some headaches. Because the Comer is not another snake, but the second person in the Raichi Cave, Psychic Beast. Open black lens bracket Red Snake Shinkiba close black lens bracket. Chapter 317_inverse scale. With the arrival of open black lens bracket Red Snake Shinkiba close black lens bracket, the atmosphere seems to be more and more lively. Outsiders don't know the character of open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket. As a member of open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket they can't possibly not know. If open black lens bracket Wand Snake close black lens bracket is unruly, then this open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket is more like. That is vexatious. As long as he feels uncomfortable, he will do it to the end. Even in the face of Haim, the three major snakes, he contradicted a few words, and the only thing that could make him quiet was that there were only two snakes. The first one is naturally the owner of open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket. The second is the strongest psychic beast open black lens bracket Yaki Orochi close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket can make open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket quiet because of her majesty and the identity is there, and there is no need to suppress it with strength. As for the open black lens bracket Orchid Orochi close black lens bracket, this guy is the ruthless master. Although he looks contemptuous of the world on weekdays, it won't be a big problem if he doesn't provoke him. Once you are in a hurry, even if you are the same family, you have to leave your life behind. Open black lens bracket Red Snake Shinkiba close black lens bracket is afraid of being beaten by him. If it wasn't for White Snake Immortal to block it, it is estimated that he would have become the ghost of Yaki Orochi's subordinates by now. Although open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket belongs to the psychic beast of the second echelon, his strength is different from that of open black lens bracket Yaki Orochi close black lens bracket. Last factor is, open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Yaki Orochi close black lens bracket is the fifth snake that has mastered open black lens bracket Sage Art close black lens bracket in addition to open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket and the three major snakes Haim. Moreover, he is still the latecomer. In today's open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket, except for open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket, no one is his opponent. That's why he was able to defeat Wu Wei Mu Wang. As for why Red Snake Shinkiba is so rebellious, that's also the reason. Because he has a piece of open black lens bracket inverse scale close black lens bracket on his body. Open black lens bracket inverse scale close black lens bracket. It falls down on the neck, the raw piece is in the shape of a moon kiba, which is a scale that can affect emotions, commonly known as inverse scale. If you don't put this taken off, the emotions are extremely easy to be moved. Therefore, it is easy to fall into a rampage. Looking at the Red Snake Shinkiba, in front of him, the snakes are talking about each other again. Shinkiba, this guy is here, there's a good show to watch. Do you think he will go to trouble with that human? Others may not, but this lunatic definitely will. In the discussion of the snakes, open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket. S eyes fell on open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket. In his view, if anyone present can turn into a dragon, that is none other than white snake immortal. Open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket. There is no unnecessary nonsense, just ask directly. Old woman, is it you? Shinkiba. Everyone else seems to be used to the name white snake immortal, but Shiyu is a little surprised. He didn't expect this red snake Shinkiba to have such a personality. Everyone else is an ancestor, even the three big snakes Haim are no exception. But he is so disrespectful. Basically, the snakes are holding the attitude of watching the show. Obviously, they really want to see Shinkiba being taught a lesson. So they choose to be silent and wait for a good show. If nothing else, they are not less angry with open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket on weekdays. Otherwise, not a single snake will stand up at this moment. Of course, if they had the ability, they wouldn't make such a choice, but who said their strength is not as good as the former? Shinkiba's strength is among the best in Raichi Cave. After removing White Snake Immortal and the three major snakes Haim, he is the second person in this Raichi Cave. Even Wand Snake is slightly inferior, which shows that it does have extraordinary strength. Otherwise, why would the snakes need to borrow others' hands to teach him a lesson? Chapter 318-10,000 Snakes Calculations. Hooked Red Snake. Old woman, is it you? Red Snake Shinkiba. As soon as these words came out, someone immediately said. Open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket. If you call the old ancestor like this again, believe it or not, I will beat you. Not someone else who is talking, but Aikikishima Haim with a relatively simple personality. Moreover, the number of snakes who dare to speak to Shinkiba here will not exceed the number of hands. Wand Snake and Blue Snake, although they dared, they obviously chose to watch the show at the moment. As the guardian of open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket Aikijima Haim close black lens bracket was naturally unpleasant, but open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket is what she respects the most. Moreover, they are still their ancestors. Therefore, she will naturally not allow open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket to be so unreasonable. Sister Island Haim. The ancestor didn't say anything. Why are you so angry? From the words of Shinkiba, it can be heard that although he dared to contradict Aikijima Haim, he was still a little cowardly. There is no way. Who told him that his strength is not as good as the latter? If he doesn't admit it, he can only wait to be beaten, and he doesn't want to be beaten by that little loli. Open black lens bracket Aikikishima Haim close black lens bracket. Although she has already removed the open black lens bracket reverse scale close black lens bracket, but her character is like this. So that she looked like a little loli, but all the snakes were very afraid of this little witch. However, at the same time, you can also know that open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket is rather funny. Others call open black lens bracket Aikijima Haim close black lens bracket as Master Shima Haim. Just he called Sister Island Haim. Is said that every place is a strange flower, and this strange flower of Raichi Cave is undoubtedly him. Just try again. Between the words, there was a powerful aura from open black lens bracket Aikikishima Haim close black lens bracket, which made the surrounding snakes shudder. If this little witch breaks out, it will be much more terrifying than Shinkiba. After all, the strength of the latter can be placed there. Even if the target of Aikikishima Haim is not them, it will also bring disaster to Aikyu. This kind of thing is not once or twice, they are all psychologically shadowed. Sister Shima Haim, I know I'm wrong, okay. Seeing Shinkiba admit his mistake, Aikijima Haim snorted coldly. HMPH, it's almost there. Then can you tell me who, Walong, is the ancestor now? No. Open black lens bracket Aikikishima Haim close black lens bracket shook his head. That's God San. No. It's not the ancestors, nor the god, Sister Haim, and the big brother Yaki is not here, so it's just you and Sue Haim, sister. Neither. After being denied by open black lens bracket Ikijima Haim close black lens bracket 3 times in a row, open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket was also dumbfounded. He knows how many pounds and how many snakes there are. In his eyes, there is only white snake immortal, and the 4 of them have this possibility. But now they are all denied. Therefore, he can no longer guess. It's not that, who is it? Shinkiba's depressed voice fell, and before Ikijima Haim could answer, Wanshi on the side was the first to speak. Shinkiba, it's that human trial. Human. Open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket muttered, then his eyes swept across the group of snakes, and he found a human breath. Previously due to Shiyu, turning into a dragon. After that, there was still a strong aura on his body. If you don't feel it carefully, it's hard to smell his scent. Now that Wanshi reminded me like this, Shinkiba naturally locked Shiyu at a glance. Because only Shiyu was present, he didn't recognize him. And under a subtle perception, he also confirmed the identity of the latter. However, the reminder of Wand Snake made some snakes a little unclear. Obviously the relationship between the two is very bad. Why did open black lens bracket Wanshi close black lens bracket remind open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket just now? If they don't understand, it doesn't mean Shiyu doesn't know. Needless to say, Wanshi wants Shinkiba to bring shame on himself. Having seen Shiyu's Walong, he naturally knows how powerful Akatsuki is. And judging from the attitude of open black lens bracket white snake immortal close black lens bracket and the 3 big snakes Haim towards Shiyu, the latter is their guest of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket. Once Shinkiba angered Shiyu, a lesson is absolutely indispensable. But Shinkiba really got hooked, and I saw his eyes staring at Shiyu, his eyes full of doubts. Immediately after, a sneering voice suddenly sounded. Just such a kid can turn into a dragon, what a joke. Obviously, open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket doesn't believe what open black lens bracket Wand Snake close black lens bracket said. In his opinion, Wand Snake is undoubtedly playing tricks on him. Shiyu is just a 15 or 16-year-old boy. If Shiyu at this age can turn into a dragon. If so, wouldn't those guys who have lived for hundreds of years be too incompetent? If Shiyu just learned sage art, he can still accept it. After all, he has sage art talent. But, dragon. He would never believe it, unless he saw it with his own eyes. Wand Snake is certain of this, and will tell Shinkiba. Otherwise, he would not take care of the latter. At this time, the tone and attitude of Shinkiba was exactly what Wanshi wanted to see. Disrespectful to Shiyu. Not to mention whether he will be taught a lesson, but at least he can't escape the lectures and reprimands of White Snake Immortal and the 3 great snakes Haim. This is the result Wanshi wants. Chapter 319 Domineering Guardian Little Loli. Just such a kid can turn into a dragon, what a joke. Sure enough. The sentence Red Snake Shinkiba fell, it was followed by a shout. Shinkiba, don't be unreasonable to Shiyu-sama. Who is talking? It's still open black lens bracket Ikijima Haim close black lens bracket. Now that she is Shiyu's maid, and she has an admiration for Shiyu in her heart, she naturally won't let others accuse her at will. Sister Island Haim. Aren't you confused? It's just a human kid. Eyes of open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket. Shiyu is just a teenager, not worth mentioning at all. One of the 3 guardians of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket open black lens bracket Ikijima Haim close black lens bracket to call Shiyu an adult, wouldn't it surprise him? It can't be blamed on him either. Because before they didn't know Shiyu's talent and strength, all snakes thought so. Even the white snake immortal and the three major snakes Heim are no exception. But after seeing Shiyu Hualong with their own eyes, their understanding of Shiyu is no longer limited to a human teenager. Took them less than 10 minutes to cultivate Raichi Cave Sage mode to the ultimate, so what kind of people are they still in their eyes now? Shiyu is a monster in a human shell, an out-and-out pervert-level monster. White Snake Immortal and the three great snakes Heim believe that Shiyu didn't lie before. 7 days to create a new open black lens bracket Sage mode close black lens bracket, which is simply a fantasy. But now, they believe it. Just when Shin Kiba thought that Aikikishima Heim was confused for a while, the latter's voice rang again. I don't have time to joke with you, hurry up and apologize to Lord Shiyu. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. All the snake's onlookers can understand the words of open black lens bracket Aikijima Heim close black lens bracket, but only open black lens bracket Shin Kiba close black lens bracket can't understand. He didn't know why Aikijima Heim wanted to maintain Shiyu like this, and he was so respectful to him. He wasn't stupid, and he immediately thought of what Wan Snake just said. Thinking of this, he looked at Shiyu again. Could it be that it was really him who turned into a dragon just now? In his mind, he kept looking at Shiyu, but he still couldn't see anything special about Shiyu. This is also reasonable. The current Shiyu has already quit open black lens bracket Sage mode close black lens bracket, and he looks like an ordinary boy. If I hadn't seen Shiyu turning into a dragon with my own eyes. Snake and others also thought that Shiyu was just an ordinary boy. But in their eyes now, Shiyu is like a fairy. When they think of the scene where Shiyu turned into a dragon, they couldn't help but shudder, as if it was a shudder from the blood. Shin Kiba, this thought flashed through my mind just now, but he rejected it in the next second. First of all, it's a hard truth to tell. Secondly, he thought that the snakes present were probably ganging up on him. This kind of thing is not impossible once or twice. Called him grumpy basically offended all the snakes in open black lens bracket Raichi Cave close black lens bracket. A result, none of the snakes present was pleasing to the eye. That's why. No snake came out to give a real hammer, proving that what one snake said was true. Their purpose is very simple, just want to see a play. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and they obviously don't want to miss it. But at this moment Shin Kiba is thinking, if the kid apologizes, he might fall into their trap. To a teenage boy would be a big loss. After some deliberation, Shin Kiba didn't mess around. Having suffered a few losses, naturally I have a little memory. Susu, I saw him move quickly in front of Shiyu, his huge head looking down at Shiyu. But this time he didn't call him a kid, he was a little more polite. Hey, tester. If you can't Hualong show me, I will apologize. The last word just fell. Open black lens bracket Shin Kiba close black lens bracket. It felt like a head coming from the body. Immediately after, his entire head seemed to have fallen, hitting the ground heavily. Boom! There was a loud noise, and the smoke and dust all over the sky were rolled up. The smoke and dust dissipated, the figure of open black lens bracket Shin Kiba close black lens bracket entered the sight of the snakes again. However, there was still a person standing on the ladder's head at the moment. She is none other than open black lens bracket Aikijima Heim close black lens bracket. At the same time, a squeak sounded. It was said that it was Lord Shiyu, but it was wrong. If you ignore my words again, I will throw you into the depths of Dragon Cave and stay with that guy, Yaki, for 10 days and a half months. Also, I'm asking you to apologize, not to verify. Open black lens bracket Aikijima Heim close black lens bracket. As soon as these words came out, all the snakes around were cold all over their bodies. Not for others, just because I heard the word Yachi. Because this Yachi is not another snake, he is the second character of Raichi Cave, Yaki Orochi. This guy, even the three big snakes Heim can't take him. Only the words of White Snake Immortal can he hear. The latter has a withdrawn temperament, likes to be alone, and lives in the depths of the dragon cave all the year round. If there is no important announcement, it is best not to disturb him. Otherwise, it will definitely be a meal bombardment. In other words, it will take 10 days and a half to recover. Seriously, the small life is accounted for in it. For example, those self-righteous testers tried to sign a contract with him, but so far only one person has survived. He is, open black lens bracket Orochimaru close black lens bracket. So, almost all the snakes of open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket are afraid of this big guy. Therefore, they shiver and shudder after hearing this name. Sister Shima Haim, I was wrong. I was really wrong, don't throw me in front of that guy. I think of Yaki Orochi, Shinkiba will never forget that he went to test because he didn't believe in evil. A miserable result. Amazing, because it took him a few months of training before he could move, and thinking about it now, he still has lingering fears. Seeing Shinkiba's embarrassed state, the snakes like one snake who were watching couldn't help but blossom in their hearts. Shinkiba eating flat is the result they want. Hearing Shinkiba obediently admitting to counseling, Chiji Islandheim said, "Since I know I'm wrong, do hurry up and apologize to Shiyu-sama." Hearing this, Shinkiba the snake head lying on the ground looked at Shiyu. "Sir Shiyu, I'm sorry." Looking at the one-eyed open black lens bracket red snake Shinkiba close black lens bracket, the corner of Shiyu's mouth evoked a small arc. Mother-in-law white snake, let him take me to see that Baki Orochi. As soon as Shiyu's words came out, the scene suddenly became dead silent. Chapter 320 Surprise Snakes. Pick up, reverse scales. Stalactite cave, needles can be heard falling. One snake waiting for the snake to look at Shiyu's eyes with surprise. They never imagined that Shiyu was also playing the idea of Yaki Orochi. If it was an ordinary tester, they would have already scoffed at it. But when they were Shiyu, they didn't dare to complain. Not only because they were afraid of Shikishima Haim maintaining Shiyu everywhere, but also because they saw Shiyu turning into a dragon with their own eyes. Also therefore, in their opinion, Shiyu has a great chance to defeat the Yaki Orochi. Although Shiyu is only a 15 or 16-year-old boy, but it is the first time they are optimistic about the person. What are you going to challenge, Yaki, that guy? The first exclamation made by open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket after entering open black lens bracket stalactite cave close black lens bracket. During the conversation, he stared at Shiyu, thinking that he heard it wrong at one time. Shiyu, a young calf, didn't know the horror of Yaki, so he dared to spit out such wild words. Shiyu ignored the words of open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket. Face was still calm like a deep pool, waiting for the answer from White Snake Immortal. That's fine too. Let's let Shinkiba take you to see Yaki, it's your reward for removing negative scales for him. White Snake Immortal. As soon as these words came out, all the snakes were stunned. They all know that open black lens bracket Shinkiba close black lens bracket has a open black lens bracket inverse scale close black lens bracket under his neck, but it has not been removed. The whole open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket. Only 5 snakes can do this. That is open black lens bracket White Snake Immortal close black lens bracket, the 3 big snakes Haim and open black lens bracket Hachiki Orochi close black lens bracket. But as for why she helped it to be eliminated, there is also a reason. First of all, White Snake Immortal, she has her own considerations. Their Raichi Cave's psychic beasts are unruly, different from Mount Myoboku and Shikatsu Forest. If the contractors cannot conquer them with strength, even if they are psychic, it will be in vain. I won't talk about helping. I'll be lucky to be on the side. People like One Snake and Shinkiba, who are short-tempered, will be beaten up. Especially the existence of Yaki Orochi. If one is unhappy, all will be obliterated. Therefore, their blood deed in Psychic Scroll is inactive. Only those who are recognized can summon them. That's why open black lens bracket Enko close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket close black lens bracket can't summon open black lens bracket many snakes close black lens bracket. Because of. Although the two of them are not very strong, the chakra that summons myriad snakes is definitely enough. And the reason why they can't be summoned is because they are not qualified. Because in their blood contract, blood, by open black lens bracket wand snake close black lens bracket, is not activated. In the anime, Sasuke was originally unable to summon many snakes. But because Orochimaru failed to seize the house, he was swallowed by Sasuke, allowing the latter to have most of his abilities. Because open black lens bracket Raichi cave close black lens bracket has such an unwritten rule, the three snakes Heim are also allowed to intervene in this matter. The testers who are waiting to come here to seek strength can only rely on their own strength if they want to obtain a stronger psychic beast. Otherwise, Orochimaru would not have challenged Yaki Orochi. As for Yaki Orochi, he was too lazy to care about such trivial matters. After hearing the words of White Snake Immortal, all the snakes had doubts on their faces. Because they didn't see Shiyu's shot before, but at this moment White Snake Immortal is saying that Shiyu has removed the inverse scale for Shinkiba. Not only them, but the 3 great snakes, Heim, have never noticed it. But after saying this, the White Snake Immortal said that everyone found something wrong. That is, Shinkiba, who is the snake involved. If this scene had been put in the past, with Shinkiba's temperament, he would have complained a few words even if he confessed. But at the moment, he is curled up obediently on the ground, which is very strange. At this moment, Shinkiba seems to have found something himself. He originally thought that the previous pain was caused by the power of Ikikishima Heim, but now he realizes that things are not so simple. Others may not know it, but he can clearly feel the pain in the lower part of his neck. Moreover, it seems that the emotions are not as violent as before. Just when all the snakes suspected the truth of what White Snake Immortal said, Shinkiba slowly raised the upper body in their eyes. Immediately after, answer came to the surface. Everything is just as White Snake Immortal said. Shinkiba, the moon Kiba-shaped reverse scale under the neck has disappeared. Next second, all the snakes' eyes fell on Shiyu. According to White Snake Immortal, it was Shiyu who removed Shinkiba's inverse scale. Is the truth so waiting for Shiyu Akatsuki?